Mm, if it would just come up.
Yeah, there it
There we
is.
go.
Here we are. We are
Okay,
here.
back at it again in Strangetown.
Yep.
Where is it that we're starting this week?
So, normally next on the list would be the Spectre household, which right now is just Ophelia.
Mm-hmm.
But, uh, we might end up doing a little bit of jumping around.
Okay.
I'm gonna skip to the Beaker household because,
Oh yeah, I
because
forgot we were talking about that because they've all
yeah,
got the
yeah,
flu.
yeah. It's a lot happened. um, but nervous subject just inherited Olive's house and fortune. Um,
Uh-huh.
but in order to get that, he's going to have to escape from the Beakers.
Yeah.
But right now, he and Loki are both sick with the flu. So
So we need to deal with that
step one is
first.
to deal with that. So, uh, yeah, there's a chance that we might jump around,
Mhm.
and move out nervous, jump into the Spectre
Oh,
household, that kind of thing. Or we might end up just staying with the Beakers the whole time. I'm not sure yet, but that's definitely where we're starting.
okay, cool.
So, just
Let's
jump
see
on
where
in
it
there.
goes.
Yeah. We got, I think that's Rob in there digging.
It's got to be.
Who else?
Who else would beg?
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
We are just starting with the Beaker household. Uh, so, quick introduction for anyone who may have missed it. Beaker household consists of Loki and Cersei somehow got over here cuddling. I guess he's trying to get Cersei sick too. Um,
Oh no.
I had to unpause the game a little bit when I did a renovation. Um,
Mhm.
so it consists of Loki Beaker, who his bio says as soon as he perfects his latest invention, Loki is sure to get the recognition he knows he deserves. In the meantime, he keeps himself busy by trying to assemble a nuclear reactor out of common household items. Um, and
Real crazy scientist type.
yeah, real mad scientist type. His lifetime uh, want is to become a mad scientist. He is level 6 in science career. His wife Cersei is a doctor. And her bio says Cersei knows 238 different ways to make someone scream, and none of them are nice.
Mm.
She enjoys taxidermy and collecting coat hangers.
It sounds like a really good doctor.
She may not be the best doctor. um, and then we have nervous subject.
hmm
Nervous subject uh is Olive
Is that
Specter's
just it?
son. And his father is probably the Grim Reaper. And that's
But don't worry about
probably
it.
why he's being kept as a captive test subject for the Beakers. He moved into this household when he was still a child. He was not adopted. uh, and his bio says his hobbies include twitching and blinking a lot.
Same. This guy
So,
gets it.
uh, when we were last in the Beaker household, Nervous was really sad, so he was stuffing his face in the fridge, which caused some roaches to appear, and the roaches gave both Loki and Nervous the flu. So
The roaches never died ever.
What was that?
The roaches never died ever.
Yeah, we had to. If we look in their memories, it's like nothing but roaches, because we had to spray them like 50 times before they finally died. And yeah, they both got sick with the flu. So top priority is taking care of them so they don't die, because my game is modded to make illness more deadly. So maybe this is very cute, but maybe you shouldn't be over here.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually gonna send him to bed. I hope them sleeping in the same bed doesn't get her sick. They're probably fine though. I mean, we could probably have how high is Cersei's logic? We could probably have her make some medicine. Yeah, Nervous and Loki are sick with the flu. They both just realized they really love science. Who would have known?
Good for them.
Good news about Nervous's aspiration. He was pretty far in the red when we were last here. It's in the gold now, which I think is because he made best friends with Pascal when we were playing the Curious Household.
Cute.
So that's good, because it means that he won't be taking a penalty for his aspiration, recovery penalty.
And
actually, if it stays in gold, he'll get a very small bonus. We're gonna want to try and keep Loki out of the red also, if we don't want him to die. Which we probably don't.
Well.
If you missed it last time we played the Curious Household, and Laszlo Curious decided for some reason it was a good idea to bring Loki Peter home from work. Loki shouldn't have even been at work. He's too sick to be there, but he sure did come over to the Curious Household, and he sure did give Pascal the flu.
Nearly killed the entire family, yeah.
Yeah, Pascal got better, but he did give the flu to Vidkin, who's still sick. So we're gonna deal with that when we get back there.
This town is a nightmare.
I don't know what she's mad about. I guess she didn't make the medicine right, because no one can take it. We'll deal with that later.
She made something, but...
Oh, Loki's not sick anymore. Good for him, I guess.
Oh. He just needed a wee sleep.
Oh. Nervous is coughing.
That was so much more simple than the Curious.
I know! Like, Pascal nearly died. Like, without exaggeration. You know, those, so, like, I mean, it's not like 100%, because, like, people will get fears like this for people that they're close to all the time. Fears of death, right? But we were seeing a lot of them, and that actually is related to the severity of the illness. Like,
oh dear.
Like it's not a for sure sort of way to determine that, because like they can just show up for other reasons.
But it's not a good sign either.
But if like everyone in the household had a fear of Pascal dying, then that was probably related to his flu.
It was pretty grim.
Yeah. But he's fine. Alright, so now we don't have to worry about Cersei catching it from Loki, at least. Unless there's still a disease marker around here somewhere, because there could be. I think that's how, Vidkin actually got better for like half a second and then immediately reinfected himself. It's because, when they're sick, they drop disease markers, which I guess stay for a while even after they get better, so...
So he recaught the flu from himself?
Yeah, which I really think shouldn't be possible. I think it should be possible for other people to catch it, but, like, in real life, like, you would be, like, at least, like, partially immune for a while.
Yeah.
So I did remodel this, this house a bit. Maybe you noticed.
Is that a bed?
It's actually, like, a lounge chair, but you can nap in it.
I love it. It's very appropriate.
So I thought that this house sort of looked like halfway between like a castle and an old factory.
Mm-hmm.
Originally the house is brick on the outside and stone on the inside, which makes absolutely no sense. I guess they're trying to make it look more like a dungeon or whatever, but it just looked strange to me, so I just brought the brick inside, and I kind of leaned into, like, this is like a renovated sort of factory, and I feel like it still has kind of castle vibes, but not so over the top. You know what? How about we have Nervous make some soup? Maybe that would be good. Oh no, he has to go to the bathroom. Go use the bathroom and then come back to this.
I love how hard you have to try to look after them.
Yeah. I mean,
They're just so determined to not look after themselves.
I mean, to be fair, this is sort of on purpose. I made it. I downloaded a mod that means you have to actually take care of them when they're sick. Otherwise, you really could just ignore it and they'll get better. Loki and Cersei also both have the want to have a baby, so I've locked that in. I found that at least Loki, for me, usually does roll that want. I hope Nervous doesn't start a fire. He's not good at cooking. But it's fine, probably. They do have a fire alarm, so it's fine. It's probably fine. Oh, yeah.
Did you say he was making soup?
Yep, of course. Yeah, alright.
Yep.
Yep. Wonder if I can get him to take a shower while we just wait for the firemen to come. Probably not. Oh, maybe. I figured he just wouldn't do that.
That's a normal reaction to house fire, yeah. But you started.
Yeah. I kind of saw that coming, but I was kind of hoping it wouldn't happen.
It's worth a try.
Yeah.
Will the soup help him get better?
Yeah, it's actually, he has access to it because his aspiration is family. It's something that you get from having a family aspiration. Actually, in an unmodded game, it will just immediately cure sickness. That seems overpowered and also makes medicine seem kind of useless. Because medicine actually doesn't help as much as the soup in an unmodded game. So medicine helps more than soup in this. But the soup does, like... Oh. Poor baby. The soup does help decrease the severity. What are you doing here, Loki? I guess Cersei and Loki are awake. I wasn't paying attention to them. Like, maybe the fire woke them up, but they're also not tired, so I can't send them back to bed. Are you gonna eat that still? Will it still help?
I don't know if that would help someone in real life. But
how do you burn soup? Also, like, it wouldn't be liquid anymore if you managed to burn it.
I've eaten burnt soup before.
Yeah?
Things in soup can get burnt.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I love how he sets them out for everyone else as well. Here's a bowl of burnt soup.
Yeah, he's, like, starving, which is not great.
Yeah.
Here, let's have Loki make some edible food. Loki's actually pretty good cook because cooking is required for the science career. What's Cersei up to? Taking a bath? That's fine. You can do that. Just eating the sad burnt soup. He serves it like they're gonna eat it. They're not gonna eat it. It doesn't seem like it's very filling. Maybe it's helping with the sickness. I actually don't know. I don't.
I hope it's at least helping with the sickness. Like, I can't see many other benefits of eating this.
I mean, he's not starving to death, so that's a benefit too. He could just wait for pancakes though. He decided he's gonna go outside to eat. Just one plate outside. Go eat some more burnt soup. Please stop coughing.
Is there any way to tell if the soup is helping?
No. Yeah. Maybe there's like some modded object that you can use to like check the severity of a disease, but I don't have. If I have something like that, I don't know it.
At least when he's eating, he's sitting down though. So
yeah. Wanna come get some pancakes, Cersei? Yeah, right now he's taking a penalty for his hunger and probably his energy too, since they both look like they're under half. So if I could get that to not be the case, that would be good.
That's quite harsh.
Yeah. But if they're above a certain point, you get a bonus for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's not very good. You did set it on fire.
It says kind of your fault.
Well, it's not his fault. He's never touched a stove before in his life. He's like, I've never touched a stove before in my life, but I think I can make some homemade soup.
Just has the innate ability to cook soup.
Did you eat? Okay, he did eat. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I know. Actually, here, go sleep. Go sleep. Is he cleaning up? That's strange. He is very sloppy, so it's out of character for him to just decide to clean something up autonomously. Oh, well, that's gone bad already.
Was it good to start with?
I mean, it's worse now. No, don't eat it. Clean it up.
It's gone worse.
Oh, yeah, it's gone worse. I think Loki's cleaning up already. Yeah, alright. Yeah, these two cannot be left alone with a mess for like 5 seconds without touching it.
Are they both really neat?
Yeah, they are.
Well, it makes a nice difference from the Curious House.
No, not really. Pascal and Vidkin are both also extremely neat. It's just Laszlo who is making a mess. So in that sense, it's actually kind of the same. It's two people who are desperately trying to keep the house clean while one person is making a huge mess.
It's maybe just the sheer amount of babies making the difference.
Yeah. But that might change pretty soon. It might be exactly the same pretty soon. Hopefully Nervous won't be here though. I don't think he's in any state to be running away right now.
Yeah.
Loki has work pretty soon. I don't think you're gonna have time to toss the football, but okay. Cersei has work today too, but not until 6 p.m. I feel bad because Nervous is very lonely, but I'm not really much I could do about that until he stops being sick. Do I still have you, Jem? Think I've lost Jem. Think I've lost Jem. Okay. We don't have Jem for a second, but we should get him back pretty soon. Okay. We don't have Jem for a second, but we should get him back pretty soon. Okay. We don't have Jem for a second, but we should get him back pretty soon. Okay. We don't have Jem for a second, but we should get him back pretty soon. Hey, Jem, I'm not getting your voice, but I am getting my voice. I'm not getting from you through Discord. I'm not getting your voice, but I am getting my voice. Yeah, from you through Discord. I'm hearing that too. I think it's coming from Discord. My voice. Yeah, from you through Discord. I'm hearing that too. I think it's coming from Sorry about that. It should be fixed in a second. Yeah, from you through Discord. I'm hearing that too. I think it's coming from Sorry about that. It should be fixed in a second. Yeah. I'm hearing that too. I think it's coming from Sorry about that. Goodness. Goodness. I think it stopped now. Okay. Goodness. Nope, it didn't. It didn't. Okay. I think it stopped now. Okay. Goodness. Nope, it didn't. It didn't. Okay. I think it stopped now. Okay. Goodness. Nope, it didn't. It didn't. Okay. I think it stopped now. Okay. Nope, it didn't. It didn't. Okay. Okay. If I mute my desktop audio, then it doesn't happen. Nope, it does. What on earth? Oh, I think I figured it out. I think I figured it out for real this time. Did I? I totally left the game on pause this whole time too. I hope no one's dying. Okay, I think it's fixed now. Is it fixed? And can you still hear me? No one's died yet. Okay, cool. My audio's working and no one is dead. Haven't got Jem back yet. His Wi-Fi cut out, so he's restarting it. Yeah, I think there's always a bit of a delay just because, like, streaming. Oh, good. Now the shower's broken. I know. Get something to eat and don't get Cersei sick, please. Let's help with the social need a bit. Get someone to talk to. That's interesting. I didn't know that they have a delay between phone and computer specifically. What's that for? Mm. She wants to study physiology, and I feel like that does make sense with her being a doctor, so maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll clean up this, whatever this is first. Yeah, I'll...
Hear this.
Oh! Hello!
Hey,
We have a gem.
I've rejoined on my phone, which is unideal, but I can see and hear you now.
Okay, alright.
Still trying to work out my laptop.
Well, this definitely works for now. I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
It's good to have you back. You haven't really missed much.
Okay.
Nervous broke the shower.
Oh, of course he did.
Have coffee. Go lie down. You're sick. Unbelievable. Sergio says hi in the chat.
Oh, hi. Oh yeah, that was really broken.
What's broken? The shower?
Oh, the shower, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's not looking great.
Let's see. I can turn him down on Discord a bit. There we go. Gems, say words.
Hello?
That's maybe
Is that better?
That's maybe a little too quiet.
Oh no.
I'm just adjusting your volume.
Okay,
How's that?
Cool. I will see
People
a few
who can
words
hear
so that you can
the
check.
stream. How is that?
Is that any better? Apologies for coming in really loud there.
No, you're fine. It's just because you're using a different device, so I had to like readjust the levels.
Cool. Yeah, I'm having to use my data. I've got no idea what's happened to the Wi-Fi, but this is fine for just now.
Is that okay though? Using your data?
Hmm? Yeah, I've got loads.
Okay.
I barely leave the house in lockdown situations, so
yeah.
got to use it somehow.
I think a lot of us have not been leaving the house much. Although, a bit more now. Maybe she'd like take a nap. She's gonna have to work late and she woke up at 3 a.m. I don't think she's actually gonna get that much sleep if she takes a nap now, but
Get a wee bit in.
Yeah. Yeah, right? I've forgotten what outside is like. That sounds fake. Maybe come have some juice?
Forgotten what date is even meant to be for.
It's for when your Wi-Fi cuts out, right?
It's your backup Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Alright. Enough sleeping. Go to work.
What Cersei's aspiration? Is that fortune?
Yeah, fortune. And her lifetime want is to reach the top of the medical career.
What would that be?
Chief of staff.
Oh, cool.
Don't no. Go read a book. I don't know.
How nervous getting on with his flu? He didn't recover well.
Hard to tell. He's still sick. We haven't had a pop-up telling us he's not. But his needs are mostly okay, other than his fun and social. But like, gonna have to deal with that. Anyone know how to delete messages? Or ban people? So I got spam in the chat.
Fortunately, have no idea. Yeah.
What if I just block them? Okay. Oh, Loki's home. He's brought someone home, which is not ideal.
Oh my god.
Well, actually, she can't get sick because she's a townie.
This is how it all begins.
No, she can't get sick because she's a townie.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe... Oh, well, yeah, go take that trash out first, I guess. That's fine. If the house is not spotless and you leave them to their own devices, they'll just... Yeah, it might be a good idea for me to have... designate a couple of people as moderators, because just for no other reason to deal with, like, spam.
I mean, I could do that if, obviously not at the moment. But
Yeah, I could set up. I
wouldn't mind taking care of some of that.
Yeah, okay. We'll set that up later.
Cool.
I don't want to try and figure that out. Why are you on your feet? Stop that. Oh, well, okay. Now he's having a flu symptom. That's fine, I guess. Why did his hygiene drop so low suddenly? I don't think that's a flu symptom, is it? It was fine a second ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like it was.
Yeah.
Maybe he got all sweaty.
Maybe.
Just going off your life full experience.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. Hasn't mastered levitation. Yeah, it would be great for specifically when you have the flu and you're not supposed to spend time on your feet. Being able to levitate. That would help. Alright, we got a chance card for Cersei.
Oh, cool.
A member of the below average bowlers league has come in with a sprained thumb and is demanding immediate attention. There are a number of free clinic patients waiting to be seen, but Cersei's also heard that the Babel is a powerful political force in SimCity. She could see that man immediately, or make the point of informing him that other citizens are just as important as he is, and that he'll need to wait his turn. I think Cersei cares much more about her reputation than doing the right thing. So this seems like an easy one to me.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So we're gonna treat the important guy and leave the other ones. Cersei moves to escort the whining lobbyist into an examination room, but a free clinic patient stands up and begins yelling something about preferential treatment. The rest of the waiting patients join in, and Cersei quickly has a riot on her hands. She tries to calm the mob down, but they very quickly break into a chant of "Free clinic, unfair, pay your money elsewhere." The buller quickly abandons her, and Cersei has no choice but to call security. Cersei loses 2 charisma points.
God, good for the patients.
Not ideal. Did she even have any charisma to start with? I don't think she did. So it was just a very eventful work day, nothing else. It'd be much better if Cersei was home to fix this, because Loki has no mechanical and Cersei has a few points in it. You need it for your medical career. Yeah, we got a whole ass riot in there. All because she tried to treat someone who probably didn't need to be treated as badly as other people. So, like, honestly, fair enough. But
no, I'm fully on the patient's side here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Cersei was in the wrong. She's not a good person, is the thing.
You may have noticed.
You may have noticed.
That she owns.
You may have noticed, but Loki and Cersei, not good people. Spoilers. Spoilers for The Sims 2.
Spoilers.
Probably get something to eat and then go back to sleep. I would really love for Nervous to not be sick.
Be ideal.
Yeah. Let's see. Loki wants to gain a skill point, and he needs cooking and cleaning for his career, so we'll probably have him study one of those. Nervous is coming to get something to eat, and then I'm sending him back to sleep. Cersei's still at work. She'll be home at 1 a.m. Yeah. I mean, that's realistic. Like, newer doctors really have to work some brutal hours.
Yeah.
Which is really not great for getting the best treatment possible.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want your doctor to be well rested, probably. Probably actually 3 times speed this for a bit. Didn't get to do that at all in the Curious household.
Oh my god, there was just far too much.
We had, to be fair, we had twice as many Sims in the Curious household.
Yeah.
3 of whom were babies or toddlers for, like, the entirety of that round, so just a lot more needed to be done.
Mm.
We could probably have Loki and Cersei try for a baby, since they both want to have one.
Oh god, just the thought of them having a child.
Yeah. I mean, my experience, they've actually been pretty good parents.
Yeah.
I don't think they treat their own children the way they treat Nervous Subject.
Yeah. You would hope not, at least.
Yeah, they, like, in terms of, like, the greater Sims canon, they, kind of canonically have kids. The kids are actually just Lokis and they're clones, but...
Okay, yeah.
They're twins,
I see
and...
what you said, kind of.
Yeah, and they are, from the Sims 3 Into the Future, they're in the future world, but they actually also like are time travelers. They also came from the past, so they came from a time that is sooner in the future than The Sims 2, and so by extension sooner in the future than Sims 3, because Sims 3 is a prequel. And
I'm confused.
okay, so The Sims 3 is a prequel to The Sims 2. But The Sims 3 has an expansion pack where where you can time travel into the future. That future is much further in the future than The Sims 2 takes place.
Okay.
So in that future world is where Loki's kids are, but they have come from the past in relation to that future, but that's in the future in relation to now.
Okay, the second time travel gets involved in anything, that's me.
Anyway, the point is, in the future, hey, welcome back. In the future, Loki has twin clones that are his children.
Good for him. That seems about right for them, to be fair.
To be honest, I would prefer that Cersei's genetics get mixed in there a bit, because Loki's features are a bit extreme. Go lie down. What are you doing? Yeah, I know. But, like, what are you gonna do about it? It's 4 a.m. He's lonely. It's 4 a.m. and you're sick. What are you doing? Oh my god. Go read a book. Can't get him to sit still. So nervous subject is still sick with the flu. Loki's already gotten better. Cersei hasn't gotten sick yet, so fingers crossed it stays that way.
Hoping to keep it that way, yeah.
Yeah. Loki and Cersei did just try for a baby, but I didn't hear the chime. So I don't think she's pregnant. So probably have to try that again later. Yeah, really, honestly, just trying to cure nervous subject of the flu. He did try to make some soup earlier, and it did catch the kitchen on fire, so...
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Maybe we won't try that again. Oh yeah, Nervous has a bunch of money in his bank account because he inherited it from his mother, Olive Spectre, when she died.
How does that work then? Like, do you just have it noted down? You're gonna...
No, it's actually,
like...
it's a feature of this, object, which is called Monique's hacked computer. So he could, like, withdraw all of it right here, if he wanted to, and then it would be added to the household funds. It also gains interest while it's in there. Why now do you decide that you want to clean up? Now of all times. Unbelievable. Is he even still sick? I haven't seen him show a symptom in a while. Which might just be because he's starting to get better. Because I think they happen less frequently when the severity is lower. But I don't know, it's making me nervous. Or like, did I miss the pop-up that he got better?
Yeah. He's got the permanent flu.
No. He's probably fine. These two are still sleeping. Oh, Loki's got work soon. And he's gonna be hungry. Look, this is so sweet. How they just like cuddle for a bit when one of them wakes up. I think it's so cute. lot of the romantic interactions in the Sims 2 are really cute.
Yeah.
I feel like it's missing
they
in
are.
more recent Sims games.
Mm-hmm. I am going to mute for a wee second while I try and do something with the Wi-Fi, but I'll be right back.
Okay. We'll be here. Oh, well. Yeah, no time for breakfast. Look, he's going straight to work. Yeah, sure. That seems like the best way to get to that bathtub is going out on the deck. Sure. You gonna go to work? Yeah, he's going. Alright, Nervous is still sleeping.
Okay, back.
Welcome back.
Just restarted the router to see if that helps.
Hopefully.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, keep us updated. I'm not really sure what to do with Cersei right now because all she wants is to buy things. Like, yeah, sure, let's stop everything and add a sauna to this house. Sure.
That's what we need.
That's what this house is missing right now. What game even costs 3,000 simoleons?
Oh my god.
A bowling alley costs more than 3,000 simoleons. That's like pretty much the only thing we can buy. We can't afford a roller rink. You want us to put a bowling alley or a sauna in right now?
What's your top priority out of these?
What are you even gonna do with a massage table?
Is this just what Fortune Sims are like?
Yeah. Which is particularly funny. Like, the Beakers actually are, like, very wealthy. But it's particularly funny when you have Fortune Sims that are not wealthy, and it's like... They're just...
Yeah, I need a sauna right now.
I need a sauna. It's like, you live in a trailer. Maybe
good luck with that one.
Maybe we should set some lower goals. Oh. I really don't know if he's still sick. Anyway, is Pascal at work right now? Because he's really lonely, and I'm thinking maybe we could try calling him. I don't know. We could just try. Because it's making him really sad. Oh no, we got the social bunny! Look what we've done now.
That thing used to scare the shit out of me.
It's genuinely really scary. Look at it. Yeah, Pascal's at work. Alright, social bunny then. Hey!
Like, great, now I'm lonely and there's...
No, this is fine. Look, we got a friend now. Let's just,
Oh, I hate it so much.
We're just gonna hang out with our good friend, the social bunny.
Oh.
And everything is fine.
The way it hops, I'd forgotten.
Look how dirty the suit is. Like, this is definitely supposed to be terrifying. It's based off of, like, I think it's like, there's a couple of movies where there's, like, a spooky bunny costume in, like, horror movies and stuff, so.
That sounds about right. I don't know any of them, but they got the vibes down.
I know you're not getting audio right now, Gem, from the game. Oh, yeah, see, he is still sick, he's coughing now. But, the social bunny doesn't talk. Like, no audio comes out when they do the motion like they're talking back.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, anyway, no, he's definitely still sick, and so he's gonna go lie back down. The social bunny will go away eventually, probably. Like, we're not gonna worry about that.
Hopefully.
We're not worried about them. I simply pretend I do not see it. And just like the therapist, the social bunny isn't real, so if we select Cersei, like, they're gone.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. I love that.
I don't know if it's worse. If it's worse that she has an invisible
He's just
social
gonna
bunny
sit
in
over
the
here and watch
house.
Nervous sleep.
Oh.
This is fine.
Like, at least if you can see it, you know where it is.
Yeah, where's it gone? I don't know. Did you just make some sandwiches to not eat them? What's that for? There we go. Does Cersei work today? Yeah, again, at night. She actually slept in today, so maybe she'll be a little bit more well-rested. This is so terrifying. Imagine you wake up and you see this.
It's really horrible to look at.
So let's get some POV over here.
No.
You wake up from your nap and you see this. What do you do? Oh man. I don't actually remember it scaring me much when I was a kid though. I think it's one of those things, like, animatronics didn't creep me out either. Like, they creep me out way more as adults than they did when I was a kid. So I think the social bunny was kind of the same way. I'm like, oh yeah, here's a friend here to keep someone company who's very lonely. This is a nice friend. Which, to be fair, I mean, that really is all it is.
Like, yeah, this is fine.
Like, he looks terrifying, but that really is what he's here to do. He's just here to keep you company.
Functionally.
Is his social going up just from, like, the social bunny being here? That's interesting. I didn't know that happened.
Oh my god, no.
Ah, well, anyway, his social sleep is a certain point.
activity.
There's a certain point where, like, the social bunny goes away. I never knew that if you didn't interact with it, it would just increase your social by being in proximity of you. I don't know how I feel about that.
Oh no.
It's nice. It's nice. It's keeping you company, you know? It's nice to have a little bit of company.
While you sleep.
While you sleep. Yeah. Anyway, he's not gonna be having meltdowns about his social anymore, so that's good. Maybe he can go get a sandwich. There's sandwiches in the fridge now. Yeah, one thing I don't like about Fortune and Sims is just how frequently they roll these wants. Since I play with, like, a wants-based sort of gameplay, it's like, now I don't know what to do with you. Like, I guess we could buy a stereo. Where do you think we would put a stereo?
And
Costing
like
at least
the
2,000.
living room?
It's the thing is that a stereo that costs at least 2,000 simoleons is gonna be big. It's gonna be this guy. There's just not anywhere to put it. Like, where are we gonna put it? In front of the...
Yeah.
We could put it here, I guess. Is that fine? That's fine, right? I think that's fine. There, are you happy now? Now she just wants to buy more things. That's the thing. You buy the one thing in there. Give a mouse a cookie. Give a mouse a sauna.
No.
Are you even gonna use that stereo you wanted so badly? I mean, she looks excited about it at least. Just gonna roam outside in your underwear, huh?
Liven up the house a bit.
What was that, Jen?
I think it could liven up the place a bit.
The stereo?
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't even turn it on.
I mean, a bowling alley would also liven up the place a bit.
A bowling alley? Yeah. Maybe when Nervous leaves, you can put a bowling alley down here. Stop that, Nervous. Hey, you're still sick. He's wanting to get a job, which is interesting. These two are jobs he would have to have a degree to get, the way I play, and he doesn't have one. So the only one that would actually be an option for him would be the military. I I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think that he can get a job while he's living with the Beakers anyway. I don't think they would let him.
Yeah. Doesn't seem very realistic anyway.
Yeah. So it's something that we could, like, lock in for later, or we could just see if he still wants it by the time he leaves.
Mm-hmm.
She just has no shame. Hey. Go lie down. This is so chill compared to the last stream. Like, the last stream, I felt like my head was constantly on a swivel. Something was going wrong at every corner. And now it's like, I don't even know what to do with these people.
As long as Nervous isn't standing up, it's fine.
Yeah, that's the one thing I gotta keep an eye on. But Cersei's gonna go to work soon. Yeah, now she's furious with Nervous because he left a puddle outside of the shower after he showered and she had to clean it up.
I get furious at people about that in real life.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting detail. At first, I thought it was a glitch because it's just not clear why that happens, you know?
Yeah.
So I wish it had been more clear, but it is realistic. I will give them that.
It's fair enough. Yeah.
Take a nap. See how long he'll stay asleep for. It's Loki home from work. Hasn't brought anyone home with him this time. He wants to stargaze. He wants to reach cooking level 6 and gain a cleaning skill point. I think we're gonna work on the cleaning since that's the last skill he'd need for promotion. So usually I start by like just cleaning the house rather than taking out a book, just because like if you're gonna be working on the skill anyway, you might as well do that. But yeah. Loki and Cersei are just so neat that I don't. Oh, there we go.
There's nothing to do.
there's one thing that's dirty in the house. So we can take care of that really quick, and then I guess read a book. Study, cleaning. All right, and Nervous is still sleeping. He has a fear of being abducted by aliens. That's interesting. Oh. Took my eyes off him for 1 second. Oh, good. Alright, Nervous is healthy. We did it.
Oh, nice.
Everything is fine. So I guess the next step would be finding an opportunity for him to leave without being noticed, right?
How do you plan on doing this? Is there like an action to move out?
Yeah. You could do it with the computer or the newspaper.
Kind of vaguely remember that, but not very well.
Mm-hmm. I have a mod that makes it so, because in a vanilla game, what'll happen when someone moves out is they just magically get 20,000 simoleons, which I don't like.
Wish that happened in real life.
Yeah, right? I mean, it seems like social services or something, which is good. I'm all for that, but it makes the game boring. Also, like, you could really easily exploit that by just having, like, everyone move out and then move the family back together. It's just,
Yeah.
you kind of get infinite money that way. I mean, I don't know why you would go through all that trouble
Back
when you could
in,
just
yeah.
use cheats, but theoretically you could. Anyway,
I think we might even have done that in the days before we knew about
Oh, I always knew.
Motherlode.
No, I always knew. I've been playing since The Sims 1. Although I think I only knew ka-ching, so I would just press ka-ching over and over and over again.
Oh yeah.
So I guess the situation is I think that
Huh.
the Beakers aren't really keeping that close of an eye on Nervous, and the reason for that is I think they think he won't leave because he has nowhere to go, right? And like we know that he, like, as part of the Curious Brothers scripted events, like, he comes over to visit, right? So that means either like he is allowed to leave or he's able to, like, pretty consistently, like,
Sneak out.
yeah. Rosebud was definitely
Yeah, I feel like
was
it makes
definitely a
sense
money
for them
cheat in The
to-
Sims 1, for sure. I don't actually remember. Like, Motherlode and Kaching might have been originally in The Sims 2. Rosebud's just in my soul. I feel like that's a classic. I don't know if they. Is that the one? Rosebud might be the one where you could do like semicolons after it to, like, multiply. Is it that one?
Oh.
You'd be like Rosebud semicolon space semicolon space semicolon space or something like that.
Sounds really high tech.
It's old school. Cheats. Games these days don't have cheat codes. Alright. Loki's gained his cleaning skill point. So I guess we can work on cooking now. Since he's a knowledge sim, he'll just infinitely roll once to learn new skills. Which, I mean, I prefer that over buy a bunch of items you're never going to use.
Buying a sauna, yeah. It's definitely more helpful.
Yeah, DLC instead of cheats. Alright, yeah, see you later. Right, so I think it's realistic that he'd be able to escape, right? I think they're not keeping, like, either he is allowed to leave sometimes, or they're not keeping so close an eye on him that he's not able to sneak out.
Yeah,
so I think
like,
as long
it
as
kind of
we,
makes sense to me that they would
like, they clearly don't have him under lock and
trust him
key.
a certain amount.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
where's he gonna go?
It's like,
Legitimately, like,
he's been there for a long time.
Yeah. And I'm sure they don't know that he has relatives in Strangetown, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I actually imagine him being born in Midnight Hollow, since that's where they are in The Sims 3. That fucks with the timeline a bit, but to be fair, the timeline is already fucked even before you add that in, so I'm gonna do with it what I want, and Midnight Hollow is my favorite world, so it's in my canon. It's 1 a.m. Why is everyone awake? Yeah, I know. We're gonna get the social bunny again at this rate. Maybe try talking to Cersei.
Oh god.
Maybe just try talking to Cersei for a bit.
No.
We're desperate.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's better than the social bunny.
This is not going well. But yeah, at least
Oh no.
she's not wearing a creepy bunny costume. Well, she's really mean. They're all really mean. Oh boy, that's not going well. Alright, they're gonna go outside and toss the football around. That's fun. Yeah, and sports is actually Nervous's like predestined hobby, which is
Oh, right.
something that I like didn't go over before because I figured it's something he probably wouldn't know. I feel like he hasn't had a lot of chances to like try out different hobbies.
Yeah.
But I guess he's figured it out now. I don't know why the Beakers would even have a football. It doesn't really seem in character for them. But in The Sims 2, everyone is provided one free football from the government. Free government football. What do you actually call this ball? Because, like, in the UK, football is soccer, right?
Oh, yeah.
They call it American football,
So-
right? Is this an American football? Is that what that is?
I think so. Like, I
don't know why I expected you to know about sports. I'm sorry. I just
It's more that, I mean, people don't really, like, watch or talk about American
right,
football.
right,
But,
yeah, makes sense.
I suppose you would just call it an American football.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Like, what else are you gonna call it, right?
It's like, yeah, like, rugby balls are similar, but definitely not the same thing.
No, yeah. Sergio confirming that's an American football.
Someone who knows more about sports than me.
Someone in the chat who knows about sports, please help us. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because in Spanish, football is also soccer. Yeah, I don't know why we did that. Like, why we just decided to call a completely different game with a name that a sport already has and just be like, that's a different one. This is a different sport
football.
now, and this is this sport. That was a pretty wild
They
choice.
don't even use their feet. Like,
Yeah,
you don't-
you're actually
you
not
can't
allowed to
football.
use your feet for football. Like, calling soccer football makes a lot more sense because you do have to use your feet. I don't know. Listen, I'm not here to answer for my country's sports crimes.
To answer for big American football.
Yes, despite England specifically, we'll just change the name from the one that everyone uses. I'm still like on high alert, even though everybody's better. Hopefully there's no disease markers still hanging around that could reinfect them, but I think we should be good.
How? Yeah, it's been a wee while.
Yeah. Like, probably would have happened
Did they
by
hang
now.
around for a long time, or?
I don't think so, but I really honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone in this house just stayed up until 5 a.m. and, like, I don't know, mood, I guess. Cersei has an excuse because she works until 1 a.m., but, like...
Yeah, her hours are fucked.
Sergio says that we changed the name of football to be cool and edgy. Because we were a rebellious
course.
teenager.
Football is so cool and edgy.
Does
real
Loki
fringe
work
interest.
tomorrow? Oh, he doesn't. Okay, good. Because so it wouldn't be tomorrow, it would be today. It would be in 4 hours. So luckily he has the day off. Completely lost track of time, just like in real life. Was paying too much attention to playing The Sims to notice the time.
Happens to the best of us.
This life simulator is too real. Yep, there's the sun. Just like when I play The Sims. Alright. So everyone's asleep, I think. Yeah. They're just cuddling. Luckily, Loki has the day off today, or he'd be exhausted. Nervous can't sleep very long in that because it's not a real bed, so I guess he's awake.
Hmm. Does he get anything like any kind of repercussions from sleeping on a couch all the time?
No, I don't think so. It's
Or
just that
is he
his
good?
energy isn't gonna be all the way full.
Just thinking about in The Sims 4, like they fucking hate it. They get so picky even about like uncomfortable beds.
Yeah.
It's like suck it up.
The addition of moodlets.
This guy's fine. He loves sleeping in chairs.
He might have an actual bed. Actually, here's something that's kind of interesting.
Hmm.
So I think people tend to assume that they make Nervous sleep in this like scary pit that originally has just a single bed in it. Which is fair because I do think that's the intention, but I think that the intention was also to give you a choice, right? Because interestingly enough, I have Cersei and Loki using this separate wing that they have, but the bed that is originally here has the same bedding as the one that's in the scary pit.
Oh, okay.
So, like, maybe this bed was originally intended to be for Loki and Cersei, and, like, the idea could be, like, 'cause this is almost like its own little, like, apartment, right? There's actually a family that's somewhat similar in Midnight Hollow in The Sims 3. There's like a mad scientist who has this girl captive, right? And there's like two different places that you could have her sleep. There's like this creepy cage in the basement, and there's like a bedroom in a tower. It's like, is she locked in the basement or locked away in a tower, right? Like, it's up to you how cruel this person is being to their captive.
Which one she's locked in.
It's up to you how cruel this person is being to their captive, and I think that's kind of the idea here too. Anyway,
Yeah,
I put him in the creepy pit. That's a decision I've made. But, like, I also kind of thinking, like, maybe he does have an actual room. Maybe this is more of, like, an area that he would be in for, like, recovering from experiments that damaged him medically.
Yeah.
That's sort of the way that I was modeling it. Was more like an exam room. I think it looks pretty cool.
No, it does.
Thank you. Ah, Loki's awake. Just thinking this could be a good time to make a break for it, but...
Alas.
Yeah. Honestly, it would be pretty convenient if, the opening just happened to be at the end of a round, because it just makes setup easier. I don't know. I mean, right now, Ophelia is watching the house that Nervous is meant to inherit, and I don't think she wants to be there any longer than she has to.
Yeah.
So I think she's really hoping that Nervous will find an opening soon. She's gonna be there on her own this long. Maybe we'll have Johnny keep her company for the few days that she's there, so she doesn't have to be alone at least. It's could have happened much sooner if someone didn't get sick with the flu.
The flu has been a really kind of omnipresent force
Yeah.
in this this playthrough.
So far. Hopefully, the thing is, since Vidkin's still sick, he's like, there's still time for him to show up on like community lots and infect people. We love that. Someone can bring him home from work.
That's a classic.
Pull a Laszlo, you know?
Wait, does he even... He does have a job, he just wasn't going to it.
Who?
Vidkin.
Yeah, no, he's still...
He got demoted, right, not fired.
It's so sad. I honestly feel so sad for him. Because, what are they doing? Oh, yeah, sure, play catch. This isn't character, sure. Yeah, just chuck it at him. They're just taking out pent-up aggression on each other. This is not catch. Vidkin evidently chose poorly on a chance card. What happened was Vidkin was feeling like he was not being appreciated at work, so he decided to stand up for himself by starting a small fire. And
to be fair, we didn't tell him explicitly.
We didn't tell him to start a fire. That was all him. He decided the best way to stand up for himself was to start a small fire. And that didn't go very well. So he got demoted.
He didn't like it.
And he's just been really bummed about it since then. Like, he just kept rolling up wants to skip work and fears of going to work. And then, like, so he was, like, already kind of just playing hooky from work. He got maternity leave. Oh no, they're fighting now. He got maternity leave when he gave birth to Hyperion. So he was able to use those days to take time off of work. So he was already taking some time off of work when he caught Pascal's flu. So then he at least had an excuse to stay home, but like he's still rolling up the wants to skip work. So I don't know if he's gonna go back. If he rolls the want to quit, I'm gonna let him quit, but it makes me sad because like his life's goal is to reach the top of the science career, and he's gotten so like depressed about it.
I know, it's such a wee sin. I was just thinking because I couldn't quite remember if he ended up
No, he
quitting or
didn't. He didn't
but...
actually quit. He just hasn't gone in a long time. But like, just like I wouldn't have sent Loki to work while he was sick. I think Loki actually got better before he had to go to work. But like, I wouldn't have sent him while he was sick. But like, the game just assumes they're going to work, so they're still a valid target to bring home. Oh, look, you made Nervous cry.
No. This is the worst.
Truly the worst thing that could happen. And Cersei's just out here watching. Where did you come from? She's just here to mop up the puddle. Oh no, she's gonna be mad. Yeah, now she's mad at Nervous, because Nervous is the one who threw the balloon that caused the puddle. Oh gosh, okay. Well, that escalated. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Oh. Yeah. You know what? Good for you. Honestly. Good for you, Nervous. Standing up for yourself. Nervous is like, I'm gonna go back to fighting with him, but I'm going to patiently wait for his wife to stop giving him a back rub. So he hates him for sure now, which is good, because I feel like he should have this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, his relationship with both of them was positive, which, like...
Yeah, it's weird.
I know a lot of people tend to use psychological terms sort of, colloquially. Oh goodness, there they go again. I try to avoid doing that when possible. I don't think it would be, like, misplaced to describe it as Stockholm Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Whose carpool is that? Cersei, you gonna go to work? Cersei's coworker's just sitting here while she's like... Alright, fight's over, I can leave now. Who won that? I didn't see. Oh gosh.
Hmm.
Loki won that time. Tiebreaker. This one's the tiebreaker, guys.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is, like, just sort of like, practically speaking, I'm pretty sure this is the reason why they didn't set their relationship as negative to begin with, because this would just be happening constantly.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think Stockholm Syndrome is definitely a plausible explanation for it.
Factor, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's 2-1 in favor of Loki. Oh. I didn't see who started the first one. I'm pretty sure they've each started at least one, though. Alright, well that was eventful.
Maybe this is motivation that he needs to run away.
Yeah, or like maybe like knowing that he has somewhere to go has made him bolder.
Mm.
Right? Because he might be afraid to start some shit because it's just gonna make like his experience there worse since he's stuck there.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, good for him.
God, no. Yeah.
I'm proud of him.
The whole situation is just so sad.
Standing
God.
up for himself. The thing is, like... Okay, Loki and Cersei's work schedules do overlap by only an hour. So, like, maybe that could be a time that he could sneak out, right?
Yeah.
Do they both work today, though? They don't, and they don't both work tomorrow, either. We only had 2 days left in this round. We'll figure it out. Maybe he could just leave. Maybe they won't stop him, you know? Oh boy. What now? Yeah, alright. You know what? Let's calm down. Let's just serve some dinner. You know what? We don't have to fight. We can just make spaghetti. What if instead of fighting we made spaghetti?
Wouldn't that be nice? Why don't you make some spaghetti and maybe it'll calm down?
That's basically when you got two Sims that are like fighting, just make one of them do something. Make some spaghetti, maybe it'll calm down. That was basically my thinking. And look, it's working. They're not fighting anymore because Loki's too busy making spaghetti.
And it was successful.
Making spaghetti did calm him down. You guys could just... Nope. Loki's not gonna sit with him, though. He's like, I'm going outside. You could have some spaghetti, but I'm not sitting with you. Still got you, Gem? No?
Oh,
Yes?
can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You have Gem.
Yeah, I'm a wee bit behind at the moment, but I am here.
I mean, nothing's really happening. The, the baby makes some spaghetti and you'll calm down tactic was successful and Nervous is asleep. And maybe I'll send Loki to bed too. Well, he's gonna clean up first, I guess. Maybe we should clean up some of these newspapers. Just kind of got them. Is that all of them? Where's the one that's new? I don't know. Oh no, this is broken. We should wait for Soshi to get home and take care of that. She is better at it. Maybe have one more plate of spaghetti, take a shower, and go to bed. They haven't had another chance to try for a baby because their work schedules, like, don't overlap at all, so they're just never home at the same time, except when they're both sleeping.
Convenient for multiple reasons.
What was that?
Inconvenient for multiple reasons.
Yeah. At least 2 reasons. Maybe we can keep him up a little bit longer. He's not that tired yet, and she's gonna be home soon. Like, right now. Alright. No, don't do that. It's broken. Alright, so let's have them try for a baby again, and see if it works this time.
Maybe they can convert the creepy pet into a nursery.
the pit? A nursery in the pit?
Don't need this anymore.
I was thinking maybe the spare bedroom would make a good nursery. Just closer to the bedroom. And she is pregnant.
Oh, nice.
So, because I have a mod that makes pregnancies last only 18 hours, we're going to have a beaker baby by the end of this round. We're going to have at least one beaker baby. So I have 2 names that I could use that are, like, from canon.
From the clones?
Yeah. Yeah, because then even if, like, these aren't necessarily those characters, because obviously they were conceived in a different way, those are still names that we know Loki would give his kids, you know?
Would call a child, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense. So what are those?
Their names are, Keres and Adam. And I'm worried you heard me say Adam with a D. It is Adam with a T.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's basically no like audible difference between those words
Yeah, no,
in a
definitely
lot of
not.
accents,
Definitely
I
not
think.
not in my accent. Maybe in some accents there would be
Yeah.
ones that emphasize the T's more. Yeah, that is Atom, Atom.
Yeah, I was thinking
And
like,
even
oh,
though they are
Adam, first
clones,
son, that makes sense.
one of them is a
But
girl and one of them is a boy.
oh, some interesting science.
Yeah, or maybe it's not that deep. Maybe one of them's trans.
One of them is
Max just keeps
transgender.
accidentally making trans characters.
We can't stop them.
So since Cersei's pregnant, like she's gonna be at home, which is fine. She was gonna be at home anyway. Doesn't make a difference. Uh, maybe we'll just have him leave at the end of the round just for convenience sake.
Well, I mean, them having a baby would probably,
Be a distraction.
I would say that, yeah,
Yeah, that
they're
might
more
take up some
likely
of
to be
their
distracted
yeah.
if they're trying to look after a baby.
The fact that their
You could
schedules don't
probably
overlap
suck
much
out.
actually becomes convenient when they have a child to take care of.
Yeah,
I think they might have to have a nanny come over for like 1 hour, which is kind of annoying, but
you can't just leave it in the house for an hour.
no, you can't. It's just like no, that's realistic. Like you can't just leave a baby home alone for an hour. But it's just
Are you sure?
it's just inconvenient that it lines up that way, you know?
Yeah.
Like if Cersei went to work 1 hour later or Loki came home 1 hour earlier, we wouldn't have to do that.
You wouldn't have to, yeah.
And I feel like they wouldn't they seem like the type to not want a nanny to raise their kids. Also, I feel like they're very secretive about their home. So it feels weird to me to
Yeah,
have them hire a
and the
nanny.
human test subject. Yeah.
Yeah. don't want people finding out about that. It might ruin their reputation. Oh, what are you doing? First thing in the morning, he's going to attack Nervous. All right. You passed him.
God.
Hey, buddy, you passed him. All right, this is happening. Yeah, good morning. It's 7 a.m. Cersei. She's loving it. She's like, kick his ass, babe.
God, at least someone's having fun.
Nervous won this time.
Good for him.
Cersei's got morning sickness. Oh, what now? Yeah, okay. This is happening.
They fighting again.
Yeah, well, not like fighting, but fighting.
But it might get there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Once Loki stops crying. Oh. I guess Nervous changed his mind. He felt bad. Loki wouldn't stop crying, and then Nervous felt bad hitting him.
God.
He's going to work like an hour. Alright, yeah, let's just toss some football. Look, he's following him out there. How many? Yeah. Now they can no longer remember the roaches, and all they can remember is fighting. Oh, look, it's tied again. Oh, look, he's over here cracking his knuckles. Once you put that ball down, I'ma get ya. Cersei's getting her first baby bump. And suddenly the house is much more peaceful. How's Cersei doing? Because I gotta pay attention to her now that she's pregnant. It's not like anything like particularly bad can happen. It's just that their needs drop really fast when they're pregnant.
Yeah.
Because there are some mods that people use that make there be like a chance of like miscarriage or like chance of dying in childbirth. Although I think the dying in childbirth is actually just based on random number generator. But I think the miscarriage one actually is related to like how well you take care of them during their pregnancy.
You look after them.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't have either of those mods, so it's just a matter of you know, keeping her needs up. Can pregnant Sims die in The Sims 2? I actually don't know, because I think in later Sims games they can't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have the answer to that. If anyone does, let me know. Maybe I'll look it up later, though. And then I don't know what to do with her. We could jump rope. Can she jump rope while she's pregnant? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, actually, I don't know if it actually, I would like her to repair this, but I wouldn't want to, I don't think anything would actually happen, but like if she got electrocuted while she was pregnant, that would just be bad.
Yeah, don't want to tempt fate.
Yeah. We've got one day left in this round, and we've only been streaming for a little over an hour and a half. So we definitely got through this round much faster than we got through the Curiouses. We could probably play another round today. There's just a lot less Sims that required a lot less attention, even though 2 of them were sick when we started. None of the Sims are babies. We're gonna be getting some soon. But
yeah, the age of the Sims makes a big difference.
Yeah. And I think the size of the household actually affects how fast they recover, too. I was looking to see if that was something that was tunable in the mod I have, because there's a different mod that fixes that. I don't know, the creator of that mod described it as, I don't know if it is a feature or a bug, but it sure is annoying, which I agree with. In larger households, it takes them forever to recover, because like the amount of time it checks like this, it like updates the severity of the disease. It does it for an hour plus like 10 to 60 minutes Sims time. So like that's minutes and seconds respectively in real time. So plus 10 to 60 minutes per Sim that's sick in the household. And so if a lot of Sims are sick, it just gets it takes them longer to recover, which is maybe a feature, not a bug,
so
but it's
they
annoying.
have more chance of Because then there's more chance of them infecting other people.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it
Like
just
they
keeps
like
on growing.
it's
That
frustrating
could be a
because
real
they
issue.
can't recover as fast as they get sick. Yeah. So there's a different mod that fixes that, but it conflicts with the mod that I use for the everything else about sickness. And I was hoping that maybe it was because that fix was included, but it wasn't. And so I tried using them together, just because sometimes, what happens is they modify the same resource, right? And usually, if you use two mods that modify the same resource, it's gonna cause problems in your game. But sometimes it's okay if they modify it in a way that's similar enough, or ideally exactly the same, then it wouldn't cause any problems at all. Or sometimes it works, but only if like one of them loads before the other, which you could change. It loads things in alphabetical order, so
Okay.
yeah, if so you could just rename the file to make it load later.
Control that, yeah.
Yeah, so I tried swapping the order, that didn't fix it. It made some weird things happen where like these two wants would disappear when someone was sick. I don't know. Yeah, it just I tested it for like 2 minutes and was like, okay, yeah, this is already causing problems. I'm going to stop. I'm gonna take these out.
That's fair enough.
So I guess we just have that problem, and there's nothing I can do about it, short of learning to mod and modifying that mod myself. But I can't do anything more complex than just editing a cheating file in SimP.
Bit of an extreme measure at the moment.
Anyway, there are things people can do to boost their recovery. Like in this household, they have this science station that they can use to make medicine. Theoretically, somebody who owns this object could open a pharmacy where they could sell that medicine to other people. I just don't think the Beakers are that nice. Maybe they would do it because it's profitable.
That's a good point.
But especially Cersei seems to care
Depends on
about
how
that.
profitable.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They open up a pharmacy, but they just jack up the prices. I can see that. Because that reward actually comes from
Oh my
the
God,
science
yeah.
fair.
That
We'll
would be
probably
very
eventually
exciting.
get one in the Curious household too. So one of them can open up a pharmacy in the future. But for now we don't have one. And anyone with the second baby bump.
Oh, so that would mean that anyone else in the town who was sick could use that?
Yeah, because they could go to the pharmacy and buy it if somebody opened a
Oh.
pharmacy and sold it. You can't do that with a vanilla game, because the biotech station just like doesn't work. In the vanilla game, so I have a mod that fixes it and also like kind of adds some functionality to it so that you could run a business with it. Because what you could do before is you could sell it directly from here, but that's just the same as like selling it from the catalog, and you couldn't pick it up and put it in your inventory, so you couldn't like set it for sale in an open for business store. And then if you were, who was friends with Vidkind? Oh, Cersei. Cersei was friends with Vidkind. That's right. Because Cersei and Vidkin used to date in high school, and Vidkin...
Oh, yeah.
Vidkin still has a crush on her, which is not mutual, but they were friends, but I guess their relationship has decayed to the point where they're not. Actually, it's gotten really low. Huh. He wasn't friends with Nervous, was he? Because I think she did used to consider him a friend. I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong. Was Nervous friends with Vidkin? No. I don't know. I don't know what happened then. Relationship decay is my best guess. Because it certainly wasn't Loki.
Yeah.
We know that. Again with the cleaning up. Who are you? Went out of his way to go clean up that dirty plate. Yeah, so the mod, oh, right, so, another thing is it was, the medicine was programmed, like, the programming was there, but it was messed up, so it was intended to, like, completely, like, because you could have multiple illnesses at once, it was supposed to completely cure, like, the first illness.
Oh.
Uh,
Yeah.
and something was wrong with the code, so, like, basically what it did instead was nothing. So what this mod does is it makes it so rather than like curing it entirely, which is what like Max's intention for it to do, it just like drastically decreases the severity of it.
Okay.
So if you like keep taking medicine, you will eventually be cured. I don't think there's a cooldown for how many you could take, but you know to get them.
Just doing shots of medicine, yeah.
Yeah. Realistically, there should have to be some cooldown in between, but I don't think there actually is. And then there's the, if you have a sim with the family aspiration, there is the, reward.
The famous soup.
Grandma's Comfort Soup, which, in an unmodded game, taking exactly one sip of that medicine will completely cure any illnesses you have, which is incredibly unrealistic.
Incredible.
It's more effective than medicine.
I need the recipe for this soup.
Right? We should be mass producing this soup. We can stop the pandemic with
Forget
the soup alone. Yeah, who needs antibiotics when we got this soup? Anyway, so the mod that I have makes it so that it decreases the severity, but by less than medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to actually eat the whole bowl instead of just literally one sip.
No. I didn't realize that there was other illnesses. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
there
there's
are more than the flu in real life. But...
Yeah, so there's the flu, which you could get from
the roaches.
From roaches, yeah. From if your house gets too dirty, you could get roaches.
If you eat out of the fridge.
That's actually just from the scripted event. I don't think that usually happens that way.
Alright.
Yeah,
okay.
their house isn't that dirty, so roaches in that situation normally shouldn't appear. It's just scripted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like if your house gets dirty, usually what happens for me is it'll happen if somebody kicks over my trash can and I didn't notice, and then there's like a festering pile of garbage, and then roaches are like, "Hey, I live here now." So yeah, stomping on or spraying those gives you a small chance of getting the flu, but you also actually have a chance of getting either the flu or a cold every time you come home from school or work.
Oh.
So you could just spontaneously get it from school or work. Either of those things.
That's pretty realistic, actually.
They have, yeah. They have slightly different symptoms. And the flu, if its severity becomes too high, it will kill you. A cold, actually, in an unmodded game, doesn't work properly. And I think I remember it actually working properly when I was younger, so it must have been like a patch that broke it at some point. So there, how it's supposed to work and how it works now that I have a mod that fixes it is when the severity of a cold reaches the point where it would kill you, if it were like say the flu, it becomes pneumonia.
Oh, okay.
Where which is a much more severe illness. It has much more severe symptoms. It is less contagious. And if the pneumonia progresses too far, it will kill you. But a cold is a lot less stressful because if it reaches too high of a severity, you kind of have a warning that happened. Because it has to become pneumonia before it can be deadly. Oh, Cersei's tidying up the garden. That's nice. What was that?
You know when it's getting really bad.
Yeah, exactly. There's no warning with the flu. Like when I was testing and oh boy, yep, here they go. Is this a tiebreaker? Oh boy, oh boy. Now Cersei's going into labor.
Oh my god.
Oh, Loki has a bad reputation now. All right, just one baby.
Good.
This is our first time seeing like a standard birth cutscene. So we got to see plenty of alien births. Aww. It's a boy, so I'm gonna name him Adam, because that means I don't have to think about it. What's nice is since the Loki canonically has twins, and one of them is a boy, one of them is a girl, I didn't have to think of any names. And like, unless they had twins that were either 2 boys and 2 girls, then
boys or girls.
That would have been the one that threw me through a loop, but odds are I was in the clear for that one. Alright, so maybe we should, we're gonna have to give him a nursery, yeah? We don't need a whole lot of things right now, because he's just a baby.
Alas, the pit is still occupied.
We're not putting the baby in the pit.
I love the idea of the baby being in the pit.
Tune in next time to see if we put the baby in the pit. So now we just need a crib and a baby changing station. Oh boy. Alright, yeah. Oh, hey, Ophelia. Ophelia showed up.
Oh.
Alright, so how about we feed the baby and then put him in the crib. Take care of some needs. Are we gonna have to put the baby in the pit? Is that what we're doing? Look what you did, Jem. Now Sergio is telling me to put the baby in the pit.
Loves the baby pit.
Anyway, the pit is occupied, so...
Unfortunately.
Everyone who's waiting on a baby pit is gonna have to wait.
There's just no room.
There's no room in the pit for a baby. So it looks like the baby got, blonde hair and brown eyes. And, we'll see how, strong the baby's features are, when I just realized I haven't saved this entire time and it made me nervous.
Oh yeah.
So there we go. We're good.
Baby's been locked in.
Yeah, we got the baby. Don't have to do that again. Also, we don't have to cure Loki and Nervous of the flu again, which is really the part I was worried about. Oh boy. Just not... Once the seal's open, just outright hostility at every hour of the day.
Yep.
Once Nervous decided he had enough, he's had enough. No, he gave up, actually. No, wait. He's back on his mission. What is Loki even doing? Oh, he's way over here. Oh, cute. Look, they're going to cuddle into the stars. That's adorable. I don't even... Where are we even going? Okay. Maybe we'll get something to eat and go to bed. I don't want to stop this because they're too cute. There's a... Is that a wolf or a dog? I can't tell. Oh. Dog is here to interrupt their cuddle session. Maybe we'll look in this want to get a job. And we'll worry about which job later. But probably would be good for him to get a job.
Yeah.
He also wants to hang out with Pascal, which is cute. Oh boy. Yeah, you need to get something to eat, actually. Gonna die out here if you don't. Also need to use the bathroom, you know. Someone knows how to autonomously clean up bottles. Oh, well, he gave up halfway through because he saw a puddle. How's the baby doing? Fine, probably, right? Yeah, he seems fine.
What were you saying about its features when it grows up?
Loki's features are very strong. And they look particularly strange on young children.
Oh.
I think I showed you a picture before, Jem, of
I feel like you did.
yeah, I showed you a picture of their daughter who was a toddler, and you thought I had shown you a picture of an adult man. And we're waiting to see the toddler.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how that went. Baby's
Get a funny
crying.
looking little kid.
We'll go change its diaper. Just go all the way around. So cute. He seems less evil when he's holding a baby. Make no mistake though, he's still very evil.
Yeah.
It's just an illusion. There's really no way to just have the nanny track their schedule so that they're only there when both of them are... Whose schedule should we track? Maybe we track Loki's because his schedule's more reasonable, or maybe we just call the nanny every day to be here for an hour, but that requires me to remember things.
Do you need the nanny like until the child becomes a teenager, basically?
Yeah, basically. Unless the overlap time is while they're in school, then they're a child, then it's fine. I guess for now, technically, Nervous will be home. But I don't think that they would trust him to take care of their child even if he wasn't about to make a break for it. Well, maybe we could try and fix this trash compactor now that Cersei's not pregnant. Well, that didn't go very well, did it? Here, try it again. I think you could do it. I really feel like a metal tool is not the right thing. So, okay, Sergio, are you, were you, in your game, you were kidnapped by goat wolves, and then as you woke up, you heard the baby cry? Because that is unsettling. Okay, it's fixed now. I don't know what it is, but in The Sims 2, I feel like some couples are like a lot more affectionate than other couples, and they'll just like autonomously interact a lot more. And it like doesn't have to do with the strength of their relationship or anything. But like for me, like Cersei and Loki are always very affectionate.
Is there like a chemistry system or something?
There is. So it might have something to do with chemistry. Their chemistry is high.
The only thing I could think of anyway, but
that could be it.
I hate that they're kind of sweet sometimes, because it's like, you guys are evil.
They're evil, but they're also in love, and it's very cute. Alright, hold on. This is the end of this round. So do we just have Nervous make a break for it while they're both here? Do we wait for one of them to go to work?
I don't know. When's the next time one of them heads off for work?
Not at all today, yeah.
Might just have to make a run for it.
Oh boy. What do we do? We can't go now, like Cersei's right here.
Mm-hmm.
And yep. 6 a.m. time to attack Loki. What's Loki doing? Is there a hole here? There's a hole here. Hold on. Patch that up really quick. It's not safe. We have a baby in the house. Oh man, imagine baby-proofing this.
Oh yeah, nightmare.
Okay. He gave up.
I have to put a baby gate on the pet.
Not on the pit! Yeah, Loki was just baby talking the evil creature. That seems in character for him, actually. Oh boy, why? Go to sleep. Don't put the... Cersei! Put him in the crib. Oh my gosh. Okay, what about now? Loki's asleep and Cersei's taking care of the baby. And look, they're both tired, so they both need to sleep. So he could just, like, sneak out while they're sleeping, right?
It seems as good a chance as any
Yeah.
he's gonna get.
Yeah. Just take the baby with us. No, we're not taking the baby. Alright. There's the taxi. Loki and Cersei are sleeping. Yeah, there's quite a contrast between how Loki interacts with Cersei and how he interacts with Nervous, for sure. Alright, yeah, no one noticed. No one noticed him leave.
Nice. What would have happened if they did?
I don't know, but we don't have to deal with that, because it didn't happen.
we
And we don't have to deal with how they're going to react when they notice until we come around to them next time. So one thing I'm going to do before we leave is I'm going to use the family funds cheat to put their... Because the way that the mod I have, that instead of getting the 20,000 simoleons, they take a percentage of the household funds with them when they move out. Which is normally fine, like, because usually it's like someone's kid moving out and you're like, yeah, take some money with you when you go. But the Beakers would definitely not have given him money.
So kind of that's the situation.
Yeah. So, like, I guess he could have, like, stolen it. But it just seems unnecessary since he just received such a large inheritance to risk stealing from the Beakers in addition to running away from them doesn't make any sense. So putting their money back up to what it was, and I'm gonna cheat. Nervous is down to 0, but he's gonna be moving into a house that he already owns, and he's got money in his bank account that he inherited from his mother. He's fine. Yeah. At this point, I usually, like, update my spreadsheet also, but I'll just come back and do that off camera. I don't need to bother you guys with it. So we have about an hour left in the stream. So we probably won't finish the next household, but we can start.
Definitely start it, yeah.
So I guess Ophelia's gonna have to stay in Olive's house for a bit longer while Nervous looks for an opportunity to escape. Because she's still at the beginning of second summer, and Nervous left at the beginning of fall. Yeah. So at the end of her round, we'll move Nervous in there and we can move her out. Yeah.
That's me back on my laptop, by the way, so hopefully...
Oh, good.
Hopefully that stays.
Hopefully,
and I'll be more up to date on the stream.
Fingers crossed. So, I was thinking if she's gonna be there for that long, it would maybe make some sense to move Johnny in with her for the time that she's there, so that she doesn't have to be alone in the creepy haunted house.
With all the ghosts, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we'll just hop into the Smith household really quick just to move Johnny out. And then we'll hop into the Spectre household.
That's the next idea.
So, this is Johnny Smith. He is half alien, and he is Ophelia's boyfriend. Both of them have just become adults, and Johnny currently has the want to move out. I was planning on having them get an apartment together as soon as... Do we still have a newspaper, or did someone steal it? Okay, cool, we still have a newspaper. In this town, it's
you never know.
You never know. Yeah, it's just it's hard to sort of take care of yourself when you're young, so it's just easier to move in with a partner.
Yeah.
They'll probably get an apartment together once they're able to get out of that house. But since Ophelia's kind of stuck there for another week,
Yeah, like if your girlfriend's stuck like just down the street in a creepy haunted house,
yeah,
then you might want to go and keep her
keep
company.
her company.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Jill's not having a great time with her aspiration. But that's future me's problem.
Yeah.
I'm not playing with the Smith household right now. So Johnny's also going to take a percentage of the family funds, and I'm going to let him keep it because it makes sense that his parents would send him with some money.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if they had more money, I would probably send him more than what they gave him. He's also, I've packed up his furniture off camera, so he's taking all the furniture from his room with him.
Okay, cool.
I'll probably end up selling most of it, but it's his, and he can have it. Alright. So that's it. We were just popping in real quick. We can leave.
Just to steal your son.
Just a quick little preview of the Smith household, you know?
Remember these guys?
Yeah. Alright, and so then we can move Johnny in right here. And we can just kind of pop in here. Ophelia's hair doesn't show up in this loading menu. Apparently it's because it's too high poly. So that's just gonna be a thing. I can't do anything about it. But it looks fine once you load up the game, so not really too big of an issue. All right. So here's the next thing. Where are they gonna sleep? Maybe we buy Ophelia a bigger bed.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to sleep in Olive's bed. That's weird.
It just seems a bit weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I know there's a double bed there, but
maybe we don't use that one.
Yeah.
Maybe we use a different one. I've renovated this house since we were last in it.
Since we were last in it?
What was that?
Since last time we were playing it?
Yeah, I was trying to keep it the same vibes. I just wanted to like look a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kept the same like wall covering. I've added these like arch pillar things. So I think it's like, even though it's like gray stone, I think it's still a little bit reminiscent of like Spanish mission style. Which is sort of the inspiration I was taking. I don't know. And also one of the things that bothered me the most about the interior was that it was like this like warm orangey kind of stone that didn't match at all. There was this like cool stone outside, and I just brought it inside.
Cool.
That's mostly what I did. I technically expanded it a little bit just so that the shape was more even, and I replaced like the windows and doors with some different ones. But like overall, like pretty minor. I'm trying to keep the same vibes it already had. It's an iconic house, you know.
Definitely.
Like the thing is, like, do we maybe get like a cheap double bed, and then when they get an apartment, they could take it with them? I feel like that maybe makes some sense.
That seems about right.
Yeah. You can get this IKEA bed frame. There was an IKEA pack. This is actually what it's from.
Oh my god.
This is actually an IKEA bed frame. This is the bedding she had before, but I kind of don't like it. So maybe we pick a different one.
But it's ugly.
It is ugly. Like, what if we use a cool one, though? What if instead it looked good? Well, not this one. I think this one's nice. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Maybe Olive was choosing the bedspreads before.
Maybe, although I guess it probably would have looked more like this if that was the case. That bedspread, I feel like Maxis tends to pick that bedspread for like a lot of their like dark edgy characters. I think maybe just in the base game there wasn't any darker beddings that didn't look hideous. Yeah. But now there are, so I'm not gonna subject my edgy Sims to that
situation.
Yeah. Johnny shows up and immediately starts trying to clean up the puddles. That's quite a task, but good luck with that.
Good for him.
He doesn't have a want to get a job. He doesn't want to gain a skill point. Buy a bar, have a party. I don't know if this is really the place for a party.
Mm,
Maybe we throw a party when we move out.
it would be a unique party.
Ophelia
for
wants
sure.
to move out, and I'm here with you. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna get rid of this bear. The bears, Sims just constantly want to pick them up and like talk through people to them. So if there's not a child on the lot, I don't like keeping the bears around because people just constantly harass the bears.
Have it.
Please do not harass the bears. You can have this bear back when you've learned to use it responsibly. One thing I'm quickly going to do is them aging up doesn't clear their crush and love flags because I have a mod that makes it so it doesn't, but it does clear their steady. Usually adults shouldn't be able to go steady, but I have a mod that lets you because like I feel like there should be some level of commitment in between one second. Set steady, there we go. There should be some level of commitment in between nothing at all and engaged.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So I mean the idea of going steady is very old fashioned, but I just use that as like they're like
Yeah, no, it seems
they're
like
like
there should be something.
in a relationship, not just
Yes.
dating. This house immediately feels less depressing
Yeah.
with another person in it.
Yeah, living here alone does not sound like a
Oh
good
boy,
time.
yeah. And I definitely have like spent a few days alone in here with Ophelia, and it's so sad. Makes me really sad. I don't want to subject you guys to that. There are it still does really suck out here. We still do have to deal with the ghosts. We
Yeah.
got Brenda Zaidi and euthanasia. Oh, and this is actually Ophelia's dad right here.
Alright.
Yeah. No, it's not. That's her grandpa. This is Olive's dad. Yeah.
See, you wouldn't think that the biggest problem with living in a haunted house would be the puddles, but it
It really is. They're actually a bigger problem than the ghosts, in my opinion.
Like, the ghosts are fine.
Anyone
The
who
puddles
steps
are
out
fine.
into this yard is just immediately hit with the hugest environment penalty you could possibly
Yeah.
have. And you can't keep it clean no matter what. Like, there's nothing you could do. We could try hiring a gardener and a maid. If they don't ask too many questions. Like, why do you have all these
Where are the
graves
puddles
here?
coming from?
Also we got a werewolf.
Oh, yeah,
Barking at
why
the
not?
door.
At this point.
Is this the same one as last time? Might be. So here you go, Sergio. The werewolf is back. Just for you.
What do they, like, do?
They can turn you into a werewolf if you befriend them. Yeah. Sims generally don't want that unless they are knowledge sim. Then they do.
Chad. I forgot you named them.
Sergio, I will go into Sim PE and I will rename him to Chad for you. Remind me. I will do it.
Chad is my new favorite Sims character.
Neither of them are people who probably want to befriend a wolf, but you guys want to meet Chad.
I do really want to meet Chad is the thing.
This is me exerting my will on them a little bit, but we're gonna meet Chad.
He's cute.
I
So is
think
he
so
meant to
too.
be like a magical wolf situation?
Alright, yeah, he's loud
Or-
inside now, I guess. Oh boy.
Is he a
Don't
straight
do
up
that.
guy?
Don't do that. Oh no.
Oh, this is
There's
what
nothing I can do about this, like, he's not a dog, I can't scold him.
He's not very well trained, is he?
No, he's a wolf. What do you expect? We just invited a wolf into our home. He's probably gonna destroy the statue at this point, which is
be
honestly
fair,
actually a
we
little bit
didn't-
impressive. Okay.
We didn't tell her to invite it inside.
Yeah, well, if you interact with it, you invite it inside. I don't know if that made him leave the lot or just made him stop what he was doing. He might be leaving the lot. I'm sure he'll be back though. They're more likely to show up on lots that have like more trees. Or more like maybe more greenery in general. Definitely at least trees.
Mm-hmm.
This lot does have a few trees on it. They're palm trees, but they're here. I don't know if maybe even like the weeds attract it. I feel like I might have read something about that too. So we might just be more likely to see Chad on this lot just because of what a wreck it is.
Attract them,
It's like basically like a forest. So Chad wants to be here.
Some werewolves.
Yeah. Because that's what this house needed. It wasn't enough that it was full of ghosts. It's gotta be full of werewolves too.
It wasn't fucked up enough.
Maybe it does have to do with chemistry, because Ophelia and Johnny do have chemistry, but it's not as strong, and I do feel like they're less affectionate. So that could be it.
It's pretty funny that Loki and Cersei have high chemistry, like of course they do.
Yeah.
These guys were just made for each other.
They really are. Like, they're both incredibly fucked up and evil, and they're absolutely made for each other. Just a couple ghosts. Just three ghosts. Hanging out.
Only the three.
Having a good time. One of them had to be one of the ones that died from drowning, so we're getting more puddles. Love that for us.
How many of them did die by drowning?
I don't have a count. There's this one for sure, and there's for sure at least two more. Ophelia's parents died from drowning.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. Those might even be the only ones. There might be like one or two more. They're probably like not important characters though.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny giving his critique of this painting. Yeah, alright. It's 1 a.m. but he's not tired, which is probably because we just added him to the household at 1 a.m. So that's on me. We could have him work on a skill point of some kind. I'm just not really sure what. Doesn't have a job.
Is aspiration have anything to do with the job, or?
I usually like to, because the game assigns them like a random lifetime want. Oh, you know what? I think I did actually already reassign them. I like to pick them. If they decide on like a career that they want to do right away, then I'll usually give them a career-based one, but if not, then I'll give them one that's not career-based. Neither of them wanted to join any particular careers. So Ophelia is a family sim, and her lifetime want is to reach her golden anniversary. And Johnny is a popularity sim, and his lifetime want is to have 10 simultaneous best friends.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if charisma actually, like, helps with making friends in this game, but charisma is something that kind of makes sense for someone like that to learn. We can do that. Just have something to do.
Seems in character for him anyway.
Yeah. A lot of times what I'll have them do at this point is work on their hobby, though. Both of their hobbies are music and dance. So we could, like, buy some instruments or something. I just don't know that we really have the money to be blowing on expensive items like that.
Yeah.
Because they are gonna have to pay for an apartment and they do not have a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't take it all have had anything in the house that could play music.
No, yeah. No, like, piano or anything. That would be one thing that, like, would maybe kind of fit in here, but nah.
Mm.
Not a very musical person. I actually don't know what Olive's hobby is. I never checked, because she dies so
She dies so
soon.
quickly.
I just didn't, I never bothered to check, so I don't know what her predestined hobby is. I don't know if pet friends actually count towards that. There's actually a separate, lifetime wish, lifetime want.
To be best friends with animals?
Yeah, to have,
That's
like,
so
10
cute.
pet best friends. It's,
Aw.
like, considered a different category of friend.
Mhm.
So I don't think that he could become, don't get me wrong, he could become best friends with Chad, but I don't think that would actually count towards his total.
It might not count towards the 10, yeah.
Yeah, he does want to learn the creativity skill, which is what he would get from playing instruments. Maybe we lock that in. Something aspirational. We just don't have really any way to do it right now. Still 4 a.m. and can't sleep, huh? Just need to eat, maybe?
Been there.
Yeah, haven't we all? I can't imagine anything about this house that would make it difficult to sleep. Come on.
I would sleep like a baby in this place.
Here? You're having trouble sleeping here? Unrealistic. Oh fuck, who knocked over our trash can?
Can the ghost in? Oh no.
I don't think so. I think someone came by and did it earlier. Oh, Chad's still here. Don't worry.
Just went for a quick roll.
Oh fuck yeah. Look at this guy. Incredible.
Werewolf pet.
Mm-hmm. He's just chilling. So if we're gonna pick up that trash can, we do have to send Johnny outside with the ghosts, which is not ideal.
This is gonna be a bad experience for Johnny.
You know, I wonder if Ophelia warned him about that or not. This is the thing, I kind of think that, like, he might not have believed her.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's never seen a ghost, you know? And I think that, like, we can see these ghosts roaming around, right? But I think that the Sims can't.
Okay.
Because they don't actually get the, memory of or get the want fulfilled for seeing a ghost unless the ghost comes out and scares them.
Okay.
So I've taken that to mean that they, ordinarily can't see them.
Can't see them just floating about.
Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, because they don't react to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd think you would. And that doesn't count as seeing a ghost. If you want to see a ghost, that doesn't count.
That's so nice. Like, can you imagine if someone was like, oh, I really don't like staying here alone, like, could you come and keep me company? And you're like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. And you go up and there's like 10 ghosts. You're like, yeah, see what you were talking about.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know, like, I don't necessarily know that he, like, strictly, like, doesn't believe in ghosts, but I think that, like, they're not a fact of life to him like they are to her.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he managed to get in bed just in time for her to wake up. I was a little worried that maybe they wouldn't sleep in the bed together, but they would, and she just happened to wake up when he finally got to bed. She wants to learn how to make cereal, and we can do that. I believe in you. I think you can. I think you can do it. I think you can do it. She's just never done it before.
I believe it.
She never thought to actually try it, but we got some cereal in the cupboard. We got some milk in the fridge, and I think you can do
We're
it.
all set.
Check this out. Oh man, we got berries in here too. Hell yeah.
Well, that's like some pro cereal.
Oh! Here's a fun little Easter egg. Look who is on this milk carton. It is Belagoth.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't realize because it was like
as like a missing person. Yeah, and also obviously I have like default replacements. My Belagoth looks a bit different.
Yeah.
That's like the Maxis default Belagoth. Yeah. Isn't that cool though?
That is God. So proud of her for making that cereal.
Yeah, she did it. And now she's just rolled a 1 to woohoo in bed. So we'll see if she still wants that when her boyfriend's awake. I'm keeping the move out locked in, so don't have a lock to spare or anything. He is still sleeping. He'll probably sleep in quite late because it was 6 a.m. when he fell asleep.
Yeah.
Which, you know, mood.
His energy isn't that low, though.
Yeah. Because the reason he couldn't sleep is because he wasn't tired, so he probably won't sleep in that late.
We can hopefully salvage that.
Yeah, hopefully.
Schedule.
Hopefully. What do we do? What do we do for fun here? Do we read a book? Play a computer game?
Not an awful lot.
We could play a computer game. Or we could just read a book. Maybe we'll read a book, you know?
Is there even a telly?
No.
God damn.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised there was even a computer.
Yeah.
Like, does Olive even know how to send an email? We got some mood-appropriate rain. Set the tone. Some rain.
The garden's just a mess.
Oh boy, yeah, look at that. Whew, boy. So what it is if they're on a floor tile, they'll never go away. And if they're on terrain, they become weeds.
The weed.
So don't worry, we got a nice mixture of floor tiles and terrain out here, so we're gonna have plenty of puddles and plenty of weeds.
I mean, Johnny's having a good time anyway.
I mean, yeah. Splashing around in this puddle. Yeah, it's bothering him quite a bit, but not enough to make him stop splashing in the puddle. He does not seem fazed at all by this graveyard. He really must not be superstitious.
He's just like, yeah, this is fine.
He knows that Ophelia is very superstitious and he respects it, but he does not share any of that. Can I come take a shower or something? I guess that's one thing we could do for fun, though, is we can go outside and splash in puddles. I just don't feel like that's something Ophelia would really feel comfortable doing.
We're gonna run out of those. Ophelia's probably left here a bit too long to still enjoy splashing in puddles.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think she just wants to leave.
What is that second one in?
This one? It's to learn anger management. It's another one of those, 1-level skills. And it just makes it so that, you don't get as furious.
Mm-hmm.
And aren't as furious as long.
Do you just learn that from, like, a book or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's I think there's it's parenting, fire safety, anger management, lifelong happiness, physiology, and couples counseling.
I love the idea of there just being like one book that you can read and then you're like, yes, I've mastered parenting. Parenting, done it.
What the parenting skill does is it just lets you figure out which of the baby's needs is low.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Have this incredibly... Maybe we can move the chairs.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Maybe we could just move the chair. We can't do it now because now they're already sitting. But maybe we move the chairs because we don't need to have this. We don't need to have this metaphor of a dining table anymore. It sure is like a really picturesque scene, though. You gotta give it to them.
Yeah.
Like I've seen this in movies to show how like the rich kid is so distant from their parent who only cares about work. You know you've seen it. But it feels strange having them sitting that way.
Yeah.
Padu, Flebens, Claire, Labastoki Farm. Malong Dooney, Malong Clarfish, Malong Florida.
Put these away. Johnny wants to dance with someone, and I think that could be cute if we maybe just get a stereo.
Yeah.
I think that's worth getting a stereo for.
Mm-hmm.
Just like just a little one we could just pop it right there.
Needs to be a 2000.
That would be a 2000 simoleon. Stereo. Side eyes at Cersei. I did see something move out there. I was like, I'm starting to... I thought I saw something move, and I was like, now I'm seeing things. This place really is haunted. Wow. There's a dog.
It's haunted by dogs.
This might be one of the stations that doesn't play anything. Because I've had to, like, disable... They have a lot of, like, covers, like, Simlish covers of real songs, which is so cool.
Yeah.
But, I'll get copyright claimed if I let them play, so I have to disable all of them. And some stations only have that. Yeah. Yeah, they'll get claimed. Twitch has really been, like, cracking down on it more recently, so... Yeah.
That's so annoying. I love these guys' dance skills.
It's really cute. And they both really like music, so yeah, we'll probably take the stereo with them when they go.
It was a good purchase.
Yeah. So we could try this one and see how that goes.
Yeah.
I feel so awkward doing this on a stream. I'll probably get used to it, but I'm just like,
This is private.
Yeah. I was like, this is gonna be their first time too, so we're gonna get a cutscene, and we're gonna have to watch that together.
Oh, this is great.
Yep.
This is my favorite thing to do with other people.
You're all going to have to witness this with me.
Do you know what? At least we're in it together.
Yep.
A burden shared is a burden half.
Good for them. They're having fun. Good for them.
God, I forgot about that cutscene.
Yeah, I didn't have cutscenes enabled when I was a kid because my
really
computer
are
couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
I imagine it would be very embarrassing if your parent walked in while that cutscene was playing. I've heard many accounts of that. didn't quite have that experience myself, luckily. Maybe we don't want to go to bed because it's 4 p.m. Maybe we wake up. Oh, now they're cuddling. It's so cute. Oh.
What is the one at the end for Johnny?
Oh, that's to learn couples counseling. It's another one of those skills.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's every time I see
yeah, every time you see a want you don't recognize is probably one of those. I know some of them can be like triggered by like certain events. Like I think a fire can trigger learn fire safety, and having a baby can trigger learn parenting. But I don't necessarily know like what all. I have noticed that people tend to roll it when like they catch their partner cheating or something. But they can also just roll it randomly.
Yeah. Maybe just like a higher chance.
Yeah. Cute.
I love that they're just hanging out in their pants.
Yeah, I mean, no one else is in the house, so I guess why not, right? Just dancing over here. No, he stopped.
I love the dance move. They're so good.
And that's, you know, that's something fun they can do. That isn't reading a book.
Yeah. There are now 3 activities in the house. There's books, video games, and dance.
And puddles. I guess that's technically outside the house, though.
That's outside the house. But...
It's on the property, but outside the house. They actually really seem to be getting along pretty well. I don't always have... I always have them get along. I just don't always have them be very, like, affectionate, you know?
Yeah. No, they're sweet.
Yeah. So what are we gonna do now? It's 7 p.m. We're still stuck in here for another 3 days. Maybe we make some spaghetti.
Hell yeah, spaghetti. Oh, you should move the chair maybe?
Oh yeah, let's do that. There.
I've just noticed that third chair that's like...
Yeah, maybe we pull that up to the table too, in case like we have guests over or anything. I imagine that's like a spare chair.
It's just kind of weird.
But maybe they've just pulled all the chairs up to the table, you know? This place already feels like warmer, you know?
Yeah.
It felt very cold when Olive was living here.
I like it.
Olive has just had a very rough life. I don't think this was the ideal place for Ophelia to grow up.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Just making spaghetti in her underwear. Hopefully she doesn't set the place on fire. We don't have a fire alarm, so... But she made cereal, so like, I think she can make spaghetti.
It's basically the same thing, right?
The same thing. It's just cereal, but hot.
What is milk if not a sauce?
Alright, yeah, give me one good reason that fettuccine alfredo isn't cereal. Johnny is just having a blast out here in the puddles. He is just blissfully unaware to exactly how haunted this place is. Come have some spaghetti. Having Johnny here really livens up the place.
It does.
Oh, we got ghosts.
I hate when
Here's
you have to stop
Euthanasia.
jumping puddles to go eat your spaghetti.
We got Euthanasia, we got Patrick
Euthanasia.
Jones, and we got Danielle Greaves. Yeah, Euthanasia was
Brother of euthanasia?
yeah, so that was Olive's brother-in-law.
Lou was?
One of the many. Yeah, because she married his brother Hugh Euthanasia. Yeah.
Those ones really get me.
Just a completely normal name. I don't know what you're talking about. Common name in Midnight Hollow.
What, is there more Thanasias?
No, I'm just saying words.
Oh.
But they've all got like really morbid themes, so like, you know.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the only Euthanasia in Midnight Hollow is the dead one that's buried in Olive Specter's garden.
Mm-hmm.
Olive still hasn't put clothes on. Johnny put clothes on when he went to go splash in the puddles.
Naturally.
But Olive's, not Olive, Ophelia's just like hanging out in her underwear.
She's just chilling.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah. She lives here. She can do what she wants. So was he fire? I think he died in a fire. Because he's red. We only just barely caught a glimpse of it, so you might not have noticed, but the first time the ghost comes out, they'll actually mourn their own death. So the first time that they come, they'll start crying.
God bless them.
Oh, look, they're being cute again. That's nice. I don't always have that happen, so it's nice that they're getting along, you know? So they might like actually like stay together and get married or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I have them split up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, just because they're going out when they're teenagers doesn't necessarily mean
Doesn't mean they're gonna get
they're
married.
gonna get married.
But
Yeah.
maybe they will. I don't know. Ophelia is pretty likely to roll that want because she's a family sim.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Maybe get some more spaghetti? I don't know. Oh, there's a ghost in the house. Oh, we got so many leftovers in here. We don't need to be making food. Yeah, this is a pizza delivery person who died of starvation.
What?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So they're gonna eat our food?
Oh boy. Yeah, the ghost that died of starvation will come and take food out of the fridge. And William Richardson 2004 just followed, so thank you. Hello. Welcome.
Hi.
We're just hanging out in Olive Specter's house. Olive Specter has already passed away from old age. And her son Nervous is set to inherit this house, but first he has to escape from the mad scientists who are keeping him hostage. So in the meantime,
It's a classic situation.
yeah, you know, this is, I don't have to explain any of this to you, I'm sure you all know. This is standard coming of age. So in the meantime, Ophelia is just basically house-sitting this incredibly haunted house, and
She's kind of stuck here, yeah.
her boyfriend is here keeping her company. Yeah, like, a ghost actually just came and, like, spooked Ophelia, and Johnny did not even notice.
I didn't see it, yeah. I wasn't sure if
Yeah.
you would see it because
No.
you did.
No, yeah. I'm going with, I don't think that Johnny is superstitious, and I don't think he really, like, fully believes in ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. He's reenacting his death. Spooky.
Oh.
I think that ghosts in The Sims 2 are genuinely really spooky. And in, like, the Sims 3 and Sims 4, they're really not so much.
I can't even really remember them that much in either of those.
I mean, they really aren't that different from normal Sims, except that they can go through walls.
Yeah.
But like, look at that. That's eerie. That's spooky.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. This is. We're just gonna see if we can get this. There's no point. It's just. Oh boy. All right. That makes 2. Was it the same one? Oh boy, 3. Oh boy, is she okay? I'm gonna. Let's go inside. Hey Ophelia, let's go inside.
Yeah,
because she could die of fright. None of her needs are low enough to. But like, these ghosts are relentless.
Yeah.
Those different ghosts. They're just ganging up on her. Maybe she's like more spiritually sensitive than Johnny. Maybe that's why they're not.
Would there be any kind of
I wish they were
reason
still selling The Sims 2 on Origin too. But it is abandonware, so there are places that you can get it.
At least you no longer need to buy it.
Well, see, that's the thing. When it was on Origin, they were giving it away for free. So, like, genuinely, like, there's no reason to even feel bad about downloading it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it technically still is on Origin. So if you've already bought it through Origin, then you can still play it through Origin. But you can't buy it on Origin anymore. I think it's because they must not have, like, the licensing for it or something anymore. Yeah. Johnny is just determined to... Oh, there we go. Maybe now he believes in ghosts. Who was that? That was, yeah, that was the pizza delivery person.
Pizza ghost again?
Yeah, it was the pizza ghost.
She's a menace.
Absolutely relentless. Yeah. Maybe he believes in ghosts now. Yeah, okay, Ophelia, you're right. This place is super haunted.
Never mind.
But yeah, ghosts that does she make more food? We have so much food in the fridge, Ophelia. Oh yeah, and she's gonna serve some for the ghosts. Look at this. They can't eat it, but she will. Like if there's enough chairs to, she'll serve for the ghosts. So one of them was for Johnny, and then she would have probably kept serving if we had more.
If we had more chairs.
So she just kept serving to the point where there's nowhere for her to sit. I feel like that's actually like a bug, not a feature. But I feel like it's in character for her to like leave an offering up for the ghosts.
Yeah. I mean, we do have ghosts coming into our house and stealing out of our fridge anyway. So
I know. I wish that at least the ghosts that died of starvation would actually eat these, but they don't. What they do is they go up to the fridge and they open it, and it actually does take some food from the fridge. So like your food stock goes down. And if they open the fridge and there's no food in it, they'll get angry.
Oh.
Yeah. So one of the things you gotta do in this house is you gotta make sure your fridge is always stocked. It's not Chad though.
Oh, is it not?
Just a dog.
Oh.
I miss Chad.
She'll never be Chad.
What is Chad's actual name again? I have to know so that I can open the right one.
Jasper? I think it's Jasper.
I think it is Jasper. I can always check the VOD though. I'm gonna rename him Chad.
I'm so glad.
His name is Chad forever now.
It's some real world building we've got going on here.
We do all miss Chad. That dog out here is really mad about the fridge.
From outside the house?
Mm-hmm. Now he's mad about the door. Oh, it is 4 a.m. Maybe it's bedtime.
Yeah.
Who we got here? There's Lou again. Yeah, some of the ghosts will reenact their own death.
Yeah, that was creepy with the electrocution one.
Yeah, electrocution and illness, off the top of my head, are both ones that do that. Hold on, is that Chad? Fuck yeah, Chad!
Chad time.
Stop everything. Chad is here. Oh, he's gonna leave now because it's daytime. Bye, Chad.
Oh wow.
At least we got a glimpse of Chad before he left.
So is the deal with like werewolves that wander around, they're meant to like be in human form when they're not on the property?
I don't think so, actually. I think they're inherently different than a human werewolf.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're called the leader of the pack. The ones with the glowing yellow eyes have the ability to turn Sims into werewolves.
But they don't necessarily turn into humans.
Right, yeah, because a Sim's werewolf form doesn't look like that either. It's more humanoid.
Okay. I can't really remember much about the supernatural stuff on The Sims 2.
I'm definitely not shy about introducing supernatural stuff to Strangetown. It super fits. Yeah. So maybe someone will befriend Chad and become a werewolf. Who knows? Ghosts that died in a fire, they're not necessarily always angry, but they are unlikely to be quiet. They're usually a lot louder. They'll like shout a lot and cause a fuss. And they also will sometimes go into pools or bathtubs. Like I guess the idea is to try to put themselves out.
I wish they would evaporate some puddles.
That would be really great, because maybe the most lingering effect is the ones that died of drowning leave puddles, and the puddles leave weeds. It's just a disaster. We could hire a gardener. It would take a long time even for a gardener to take care of all those weeds.
Can you not like do it yourself, or is it just that it would take forever?
It would just take forever.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And then it would just be like that the next day.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, if you have a gardener coming regularly, oh, hell yeah! Belagoth. There she is. The legend. Or the imposter. Depending on who you ask.
Is this the Strangetown off-brand Belagoth?
This is Strangetown off-brand Belagoth, but this version of this template has like merged Strangetown off-brand Belagoth with Pleasantview Belagoth, so she has the right facial features and she's got like I think some skills that she should have. Because like according to Maxis, their intention was for that to be Belagoth. They just did a really bad job. But theorizing that maybe she's not is interesting. Although, like, the thing is, like, even if she's like a clone or something, which is a popular theory, like, her face should still look the same.
Yeah.
I've been wondering what to do with Belagoth. Because, like, I mean, I don't know. I kind of like her being a townie, because then she's just sort of like a cryptid. You know, she just kind of comes in and out of the scenes at times.
Belagoth Satan.
Yeah. But, like, the thing is, like, if someone, like, befriends her, it becomes awkward, because then we have to, like, actually introduce her into the story.
Think about it, yeah.
Yeah. Also, like, is she just gonna stay in the town forever, unaging? I think that actually kind of fits her. Oh, yeah, way more iconic in The Sims 2 and The Sims 1. The Sims 4 Belagoth is honestly just upsetting. What they did with every character from Sims 2 that they included in The Sims 4 is like, it's like they've sucked all the life out of it. Also, like, they whitewashed Cassandra Goth really bad.
Oh yeah, you were showing me recently.
Yeah, like she like straight up has the same skin tone as Mortimer, and she has Bella's skin tone in The Sims 1 and in The Sims 2. They also made Bella a little bit lighter too, which is not great. It's just not quite as drastic
Significant.
as
Yeah.
what they did with Cassandra. Should we maybe call it here? Things have kind of like lulled down a bit. This is technically the time we're supposed to stop, and I don't want to keep you up for a million years because it is quite late where Jem lives.
How many days are left in the cycle?
Let's check, because it did look pretty close to done. So maybe you're thinking maybe we
Yeah.
finish this. Oh, we got 2 days left.
I'd be up for that if it's like.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
up to
cool
you.
for her
Like
for
it's 7 p.m. here. I can stay up. I can stay up plenty. I'm having fun. I don't want to. I feel bad for keeping you up so late for these streams.
No, you're fine. It's 2 a.m. here, but my sleeping schedule is not great, so that's fine.
I mean, like if it were that time here, I would still be up anyway.
Yeah.
Also, so like I get it.
I might as well be playing Sims and having fun, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I genuinely, like, I don't play The Sims 4 anymore. I think it's still installed on my computer, but, like, all my mods are out of date, and, like, it would be too much work for me to even update it for it to probably just not be fun. I just stopped playing it because the other games are better, and I got them both running great on my computer. I've got all 3 of the older Sims games on here because I recently got Sims 1 running on it too. So why would I ever play Sims 4 is what I'm saying. I don't know. I probably should still like get it up and running. I'm also part of like a Discord of like alternative content creators, like custom content creators for The Sims 4, and I do help them with like testing and stuff. So I would like to be able to do that at least, but I just really don't have fun just like sitting down and playing it.
Just playing it, yeah.
Yeah. So I agree 100%. I would much rather play The Sims 3 and The Sims 2 than The Sims 4. Anyone who's only played The Sims 4 and never played any of the older Sims games, I'm begging you, play any of them. Literally any of them. Neither of them have rolled any wants to get a job, so that's gonna be a bit of an issue.
Probably going to need to happen at some point.
Yeah. Because there are other ways that people could make money, but they're not really rolling wants for that either.
Yeah.
We'll burn that bridge when we get there. You know, maybe this is just kind of a transitional period. They're not really thinking about that yet, but they're gonna have to start.
It's just 24/7 dance.
They're gonna have to start, or they're gonna end up in the sad basement apartments.
Oh god, no. Is that what their future is looking like?
Right now, that's kind of how it's looking. I was
Not
hoping
the
maybe move them
basement
into one of the
apartment.
trailers, but we might, at this point, like, if they don't have jobs, we might have to move them into one of the really sad apartments. We could do like one of the ones that are above ground that are slightly less sad.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe could be okay.
They're
More space there. I
definitely
just
less
really
sad
would
than
hate
the
to have
basement.
to deal with 2 Sims living in one of the basement ones, because I'm just not confident they would be able to route around each other very effectively. I haven't play tested that build yet, I should say, so we'll have to see how well that works. That's enough of that. Okay, yeah, no, we're dancing still. Okay. I think it's because their fun is so high already that they just like start dancing and immediately stop.
And we're done.
Yep, that's enough of that. Oh, now they're being cute. Gosh, what a disaster. What's Nervous gonna do with this when I feel like he's just gonna leave it. I feel like Ophelia's not doing anything with it because she's like, this is not my problem anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think Nervous is gonna be the one
Olive's son can deal with this, and Nervous is gonna move in here and he's gonna be like, yeah, this is fine. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Yeah, the stereo is definitely a good purchase. They've been getting their use out of it. Unlike somebody.
Good use of it, yeah. Oh my god.
Some people just buy expensive stereos and don't even turn them on.
The 2000 Simoleon stereo.
She didn't even want it for music. It was just a status symbol. Look at this very expensive stereo that I own.
Yeah, finance sims are difficult to vibe with.
Yeah.
Not
like,
sure I quite get you.
At least the Beakers are pretty rich. It's another thing entirely when you got Fortune Sims that got no money to work with. And they're like, where do you think you're gonna get the money for a vacation house? Sit down. You think we got bowling alley money?
No.
That bowling alley is bigger than your house. Is it just me, or is this room really unsettling? It really unsettles me.
The corner room?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, it feels like something shady goes on in this room, specifically.
I don't really like that it exists.
It really does seem like a room that you'd lock someone in until they starve to death. It's eerie. I feel like you'd get a chill walking through it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird, right? And like, there's this one like really industrial looking light in there.
Yeah, the light makes it worse.
And then like being right next to the bathtub. I'm just imagining this room like covered in blood and someone hosing it down. I don't know, man. It's just an empty room, but it gives me bad vibes.
Could be a kind of screaming room situation.
Screaming room?
If you need to scream, you go to the room.
Do you think it's soundproof?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that doesn't make it better.
You know that room's soundproof.
Oh no. I mean, whether it's for screaming or torture, it's gotta be soundproof, right? I don't know that Olive Spectre needs a screaming room. I feel like if people heard screaming coming from Olive Spectre's house, if they knew it was good for them, they would pretend they did not. If you heard screaming coming from Olive Spectre's house, no you didn't.
That's
timeout room. Yeah, timeout room and baby pit. That's that's the kind of town we're living in here, huh?
God, it really is the pit of this house.
That room is basically the pit, yeah. Maybe we turn that into a nursery.
A makeover.
You can torture people by we can put a makeover chair in there and give people bad makeovers on purpose. I don't hate that.
If you're bad,
you know what I thought was pretty neat? In The Sims Medieval, you actually like they actually do have like torture chairs, and they've really like done it in like a really like Maxis humor way, and I think it's really funny. Like that's why I really like I like stuff like that being included in Sims games, but like when mods do it, they always make it so like dark and gritty, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it should be over the top and funny, like the rest of the
really
game.
make sense to the game.
So I feel like mods for the most part, there are some exceptions. Some of them do it right, but mods for the most part, I feel like when they add like dark things, they like get the tone completely wrong.
Yeah, take it too
But like in The
seriously.
Sims Medieval, you can like torture someone in a chair, and like there's the idea is you could either like go in like a positive or negative direction. If you like go in a positive direction, then they'll give you the information that you want because like you've sort of gotten on their good side, and if you go the negative direction, then you like intimidate it out of them, right? And there's like various actions that you could perform that are all like really over the top and silly, and sometimes they'll like it and sometimes they'll hate it. Like you can like tickle them with a feather, or you could like you release a chinchilla on them, and the chinchilla will kind of like they'll either like laugh or they'll like scream when they're attacked by the chinchilla. You know, like either it's like, oh, I'm being attacked by a chinchilla, or like, oh, sick, I got a chinchilla friend. You know, or they'll like they'll like open a box and they'll like or they'll be like, oh, cool. I don't know. It's just like, what's in the box? Douse them with water. It's all like really like lighthearted and fun, you know. And like it's impressive, honestly, that they can make something like torture lighthearted and fun. I'm genuinely so impressed. Execution too. You can execute Sims in The Sims Medieval. You do it by throwing them to the pit beast.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I should play The Sims Medieval on stream sometime. It's a good game.
Yeah. I miss The Sims Medieval so much.
I would be down for that for sure. I really love that game. I haven't played it for a while, but it's also I got it installed on my computer.
I haven't played it in years.
It's only like $20 on Origin, and it comes with the expansion.
Yeah, I think about buying it every so often, but I don't think my laptop would like it very much.
It runs much better than The Sims 3 because it's a lot lighter, and a lot of the fixes that you can apply to The Sims 3 to make it run better, you can apply to The Sims Medieval too. So
okay.
You might be able to get it running. Like if your computer runs The Sims 4, it'll probably run The Sims Medieval. Get some of the many leftovers that are in the fridge. I wonder what are... Chad? Chad!
Is he back?
Chad's back!
Oh, there he is.
Also, euthanasia. Someone go say hi to Chad.
Go say hi to Chad and just hopefully he doesn't eat your statues this time.
Yeah, we had to chase him out last time because he started trying to eat our statues immediately. Yeah, I know it sucks
so
out here.
Cute, though.
Here, look. Ophelia, please pet this werewolf in our stead. We all want to pet Chad, but you're the only one that can do it.
Curiously through Ophelia.
Yeah. Is he going in to ruin our statues? Oh, the bed? Ah, he's just there to bark at the bed, not to destroy it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
It's probably haunted. Oh, no, now he's destroying it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got the bad ghost vibes from it.
Yeah, it is probably haunted. Oh, is that where you're going, Chad?
Okay.
You good there?
Yeah.
Hey, Chad, you good?
Oh,
he's back. Back at it again. Oh,
I
now
was a bit worried for a second there where we're just gonna have Chad trapped there forever.
This is our wolf now. Chad lives here. Chad's drinking the ghost puddles.
Good for him. Someone might as well get some use out of him.
so many leftovers in the fridge.
That's where all the pizza delivery goes.
The thing is, actually, you reminded me of something I wanted to check. I want to make sure our food supplies aren't low because we don't want to make the ghost mad. It's fine. It's just a little. It's like a little, like a third full probably. So.
Oh, so it's not actually dishes; it's the groceries.
Yeah.
That needs to be filled. Cool.
Yeah. They take like units of groceries. They don't take like prepared food.
Oh, we've been cooking spaghetti for them and everything.
I know, and they won't even eat it. It's a nice gesture,
No
though.
taste.
Ungrateful guests don't even eat the spaghetti that we make for them. You're gonna haunt my house and you're not gonna eat my spaghetti? Rude.
Can't get the ghosts these days.
They don't pay rent and they don't eat spaghetti. Unbelievable. Maybe we just go to sleep. Vicky Sims. Is that drowning? No, I don't think so. She's not leaving puddles, so... A lot of the ghost colors are pretty similar.
Yeah.
Maybe that one's, like, purple. It doesn't look like the starvation purple,
to
though.
When there's more than one of them about.
Yeah. They are just all up in the house today, huh? Maybe that is the starvation purple. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's only the ones that... No, I don't know. I've never noticed the drowned ghosts come in the house, so I don't know if they leave puddles in the house or not. Maybe they just don't come in. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. My bad. Ignore that.
What?
It's like a debug kind of command that I accidentally selected. Don't worry about it. Or maybe it's Johnny's alien powers. Look, I don't know.
He's half alien, it just happens sometimes.
Aliens in The Sims 2 actually don't have any powers, which, like, they're the only occult type that doesn't.
It'd be kind of cool if they did.
Yeah. Like, in The Sims 3 and 4, there's, like, at least a couple things aliens can do.
But it's also just kind of funny that they're just, like, guys.
They're just guys, which makes it,
Have
like...
jobs and retire. And...
Yeah. And they did come with the base game, too, so, like... in 3 and 4, they both came with expansions.
Yeah.
Still nothing that could earn them money, huh? Anything? Do you guys want to live in the sad basement apartment? You guys are acting like you want to live in the sad basement apartment.
I think if they'd seen the sad basement apartments, they would, like, get a bit more serious.
Maybe we just move them into the sad basement apartment and they're like, I see. I should get a job.
Yeah. Immediately rolls a 1.
We could do a muscle dance.
They do love this muscle band.
Let's do a smuscle. Join this muscle. Oh, and they're not in sync. Join this muscle. There it is. Join this muscle. Look at that. That's so cute.
God.
I absolutely love stuff like this.
Yeah. It's so fun to just watch them sometimes.
Everybody knows this muscle dance. You're bored with the innate knowledge of how to muscle.
Don't even look at me if you're not muscling.
Thank you, Awkward Rainbow Soul, for following. Hello. You caught us a little near the end, so we're probably gonna be wrapping up soon. We're actually supposed to end at 7, but that was which is 20 minutes ago, but we're still here. I think we're gonna go for one more sim day. Still going. But we're here every Tuesday, starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So.
And midnight GMT, just in case anyone's with me.
Yeah, that's the time. Or whatever time that is relative to you. Thank you, Mel's199X, for following. I'm so happy to have people here hanging out with us. We're all just playing Sims together. It's fun.
Did she just come in to shout at Johnny for being in the bath?
I didn't see. I don't know. I think maybe she just walked in there and then was shocked to see him naked in the shower, which seems strange because she has definitely seen him naked before, and also that is usually what people look like when they're in the shower. I just think it's so funny when someone's partner like is shocked to see them in the shower. Like, you've seen that before. This statue, fucking hilarious. You're making more food, Johnny. We have so many leftovers. Oh boy.
These guys are so desperate to set a house on fire.
No, luckily he's making lunch meat sandwiches, so there's no worry of that there, no risk. This is a no risk meal. I guess it's good for him to make some experience making things that don't catch on fire.
It won't set things on fire, yeah. You've got to build up to spaghetti, you know?
Oh, Ophelia could do it because she'd made cereal before. I think she actually already does have a cooking skill point. Like, I think she worked on that a bit, yeah.
And she'd never made cereal?
She just hadn't made cereal, yeah. She definitely had cooked before. I think Olive might have poured her cereal for her. I think it's so funny that you can pour like a group meal of cereal. Like, who would do that?
I love
the giant bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Well, and you gotta do it because apparently kids can't pour their own cereal.
Everyone knows you don't learn that until you're an adult.
You can't pour cereal until you turn 13. Everyone knows this.
We check your ID.
At the box.
At the supermarket. Are you sure you can be buying this, Cookie Crisp?
No, even if your parents buy it for you. Like, when you pull it out of the cupboard, it asks for ID. Don't know if you're old enough to handle this Captain Crunch. Johnny wants to work on his charisma, so I guess we could do that. They're going wherever they want autonomously, but like when I'm controlling them, I'm keeping them on this side of the house. This side of the house feels haunted.
Yeah, the kind of combination of Olive's bedroom and
It's
the
got
room.
bad vibes over here.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just walk through here and go into this bathroom like it's no big deal, and I'm like, wow, okay. Fearless.
You've got another non-haunted bathroom over there, so...
It's haunted. It's less haunted.
I mean, it's definitely haunted, but...
It's less haunted than the other bathroom, I would say. In my humble opinion. Yeah, this room is eerie, isn't it?
Is that another nothing room?
Oh, yeah, right
the
here in
bedroom
between.
and
It's
the-
like, I mean, it's kind of like an entranceway, but it is empty.
Uh-huh.
It's less creepy though, because it's got sconces
It's not
instead of
as
like.
bad as the
It's because it's
room.
got sconces, and so it just feels like a hallway, and then this is like,
Yeah, that's the room.
yeah.
Like, it would be weird to have a door directly from your kitchen into the bathroom, so I see how it's happened.
I mean,
but
it also kind of just
I
seems
still
like in the
don't
floor
like
plan,
it.
like what else would you put there? Like, this is the thing. You know what you could have done? You could have made the bathroom a little bit smaller, right? Because you could shift these down this way and put them all here, and then just have a bigger kitchen. But instead, you have this
Yeah.
creepy murder room. I don't know, man. It gives me bad vibes. Hopefully maybe he could pick a career that'll use the charisma he's been working on. Also, if his body skill is actually pretty high, which I think is just like that when he starts. Is it normally like that? I don't know. I don't know if that's something the template changed or if it's normally like that. I don't remember.
Oh, what's his bio? I don't think we did. Ophelia and Johnny's
Oh, yeah,
when
you're
we
right,
were
huh?
going into the thing.
Yeah. Let's, Johnny's says, Johnny dreams of being the hero that rides in on a white horse, or at least a cool sports car. And Ophelia's says, Ophelia's hobbies include hypochondria and monitoring the air quality. She worries about the future, and the past, and the present.
God bless her. I mean, no wonder.
Yeah, I mean, you would too. If you lived the life she lived, you would too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit your head doing that.
That's quite sweet though, like I do feel like they balance each other out.
Yeah. No, they're a cute couple for sure. I would really love to get them out of this house. Although I'm not sure that I would love to get them into one of the sad basement
The
apartments, which
basement
is at this rate
yeah.
where they're going. What is the price difference between the ones that are above ground and below ground? I don't remember. Just because I really think that two people will have trouble routing around each other in a very small basement apartment. Like, I just don't think two people will comfortably
Yeah.
fit. I don't want to deal with those routing issues. I haven't playtested it. Small spaces in this game is just routing issues all over the place. I actually do have an item that's supposed to help with like letting people route around objects they usually shouldn't be able to. So if we run into any problems, I could drop something like that down. But just like two people occupying the same space have trouble routing around each other sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's like arguably gotten better in more recent games, but then at the same time, in Sims 4, I've had Sims try to route through a bathtub. Like, they get into the bathtub and then out as part of their routing. Like, they didn't decide to take a bath. That was how they thought the best way to get to the bedroom was.
Yeah.
Which is...
At Sims do some really weird stuff in The Sims 4.
Yeah. I've had
Like,
Sims
one
try
of
to
them
route
ended
through
up
hot
on
tubs that way in The Sims
one
3,
time.
though, so it's like, not just a Sims 4 thing. I think they are better about, you know, choosing what... There she is! Choosing, like, a more direct path, though. They don't do the weird thing where they, like, go out onto the deck and back in the house.
Yeah.
Like we were saying in the Curious household and the Beaker household.
Oh yeah, that was a whole nightmare.
Yeah. And I really like the decision they made in The Sims 4 to just let Sims route through each other. Like, sometimes it does get you in, like, a weird situation where you have, like, two Sims directly on top of each other, or they're, like, merging into each other. But, like, I prefer that over, like, the situation of, like, them just, like, being stuck in a hallway forever because they can't figure out how to route around each other.
Yeah.
Like, in real life, they would just, like, you know, scoot past each other.
Yeah.
And so the, it's, like, really oversimplifying it to just have them walk through each other, but it's over in a second. So I agree with that one decision that they made about The Sims 4. I have some good things to say about The Sims 4. They're few and far between, but I have some good things to say about it. Are you making more food? I swear, Ophelia.
Oh my god. These people.
Can we have food? I don't think they can autonomously get leftovers, so that might be why.
Nervous is gonna be set up for life when he moves in.
Yeah, he doesn't have to cook. Which is good, because,
Oh yeah, we saw how the soup went.
yeah, maybe Nervous isn't quite ready to use the stove. It feels so much homier in here moving the chairs, too.
Yeah, no, that made a huge difference.
Yeah. And it feels like something that people would realistically do. Like, if you have a table that big, you're not going to sit at opposite ends of it unless there's something making you do that psychologically.
Unless you're living with your haunted aunt.
Yeah. Like, you would probably just, like, without thinking about it, like, scoot the chair over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, okay. Yeah, okay. That seemed a bit rude, but fine. So I think tomorrow is like, well, I think tomorrow is the first day of the next round, first day of fall.
The day we'll find out where these guys need to move into.
Yeah. We really were able to do like 2 households in like not half the amount of time, in the exact in like less time than it took us to do the Curious household.
God,
we did do the Curious household like 1 3/4 of a time though. I feel bad that Julia named one of the kids and then we lost the kid to a tragic my computer crashing accident.
No, that was definitely the worst part. She just exists in an alternate timeline now.
Yeah, that's where she is now. Andromeda was a nice name too.
Yeah.
Much better than Hyperion. Still haven't come up with a nickname for that. We could change that name still, but I don't think we're
I
gonna.
like it. It's pretentious, but I think it's fitting.
It seems in character for Vidkin
believe,
to name his child
I
that.
can believe that Vincent would do that.
I believe it too, honestly. Are we haunted? Yeah, we're haunted. That's what I was hearing.
You know we're haunted.
There it is, yeah. Oh! Look who it is, look who it is! It's Olive.
Oh! Okay, I heard that like a second before she came up on the screen, and I was like, okay, is it Bella Goth or is it Chad the Werewolf?
No! Olive
But it
Spectre.
was in fact the third
I was gonna
option.
say in the flesh, but
Not quite.
strictly in spirit, actually. Oh boy. Went directly through Johnny!
Oh no!
This hasn't shown up on the screen yet for you, I think, so
No,
you
it
get a
just...
little heads up. Oh boy, that was like something straight out of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Ophelia like nearly wet her pants, I think.
No. God,
Oh, you know what? I think it's bedtime. Just like directly through his chest. Oh man, that was spooky. That would freak you out, wouldn't it? Oh boy.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
Olive, are you trying to kill her? Oh my god.
Is there like anything that would make them specifically scare Ophelia, or is this just bad luck?
If
Because
there
he
is,
seems
I
quite
don't know
wicked.
about it. There's like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if there was something.
Uh-huh.
Because there's a lot of things that just like work behind the scenes.
Mhm.
It sure is convenient though. Johnny's just not sensitive to this stuff. He doesn't notice it
He's
most of the
just
time.
done.
He's seen a ghost one time, and that's enough for him to think, okay, yeah, maybe ghosts are real then. But even then, like, it happens one time. Maybe I imagined it, you know?
Yeah, it was like a couple of
Oh
nights.
no, he does
ago
know
now.
that. He does know to. I think that's kind of cool if you do, like I do, if you like subscribe to like sort of the headcanon that they can't see ghosts if the ghosts aren't directly spooking them. Because like when the ghost was in here, he still like covers what he's writing in his diary. Maybe you just get like a bad feeling. But it's probably just the same thing as like when you're like serving food for ghosts that can't eat it. Like the game counts their presence as like a sim being here. Same reason that the lights turn on. Neat. Like, I really love the idea that they can't see the ghost that we see, and so they're just seeing the effects of it.
The lights are just turned on? Yeah. That's cool. That's some old school hauntings.
Yeah, ghosts in the Sims 2 are genuinely spooky. Oh no. I was like, where'd the ghost go? And then I'm like, oh no. I know it's coming. Yeah? No? No. Alright. Okay. I assumed that that's why you woke up. I thought the ghost was gonna spook you, but I guess not. You wanna go to bed, Johnny? Who we got?
Time.
Patrick Jones, Danielle Greaves. She's out a lot.
Mm.
She's just very active. There's Olive still lurking around. Too bad we missed her when she like first came out of the grave. We would have seen her crying.
Mm. Do old age ghosts like do anything, or are they just your standard ghosts?
They're actually just a lot more peaceful.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, they just they tend to be more
That makes
quiet.
sense.
Yeah, they just kind of hang
Yeah.
out. They will still like, you know, they'll still
Scarophilia.
they'll still scare Ophelia specifically. Uh, but like for the most part, they're just a lot more chill. I don't think they do anything in particular. I think the most notable thing about them is that they're pretty docile.
Yeah.
They can still get angry though. Like I don't know if she was actually around long enough to develop an attachment to it, but like Olive might get angry if we deleted her bed.
Oh, okay.
Like if there's an object that they used a lot, they'll get angry if you delete it.
So that's fun. I like that.
Yeah, but that's true of all ghosts. It's just that it would be unique to Olive in this case because she's the only one that
She
lived
was the
here.
one who lived here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's really awful out here.
Oh my god,
So
all the
bad.
weeds.
And it's just like this. This place looks like no one lives here. Like you would walk past this and assume it was abandoned. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
This is the house that kids dare their friends to go into. Yeah, alright, we're using the haunted bathtub, are we?
Why not?
Okay,
At this point.
It's morning, it's fall.
Oh yeah.
So let's go back out to neighborhood view and just kind of get this whole thing situated. We've got nervous subject in the family bin. I have to get rid of his money because that was taken from the Beaker's household and he shouldn't have it. But he's got plenty of money in his bank account from inheritance. Did that do it? No, hold on. Well, that won't work because I typed family wrong.
That'll do it.
How about that? Did that do it? No. Maybe I'll just let him keep it. I don't care. I don't care enough. It's not that much money. Honestly, like, I hope most of it goes with Johnny and Ophelia, because they're gonna need it. Alright, one thing I want to check is she should know him now. Okay, so she does recognize him as family. I fixed that earlier. I wanted to make sure it works.
Oh, cool.
Because they are cousins. But at least from this template, I'm not sure about Maxis's template, at least from this template, that family tie was missing when I started the game, so I had to put it there myself.
Go ahead and fix it.
Yeah. So let's move Johnny and Ophelia out. And
Once you finish having a haunted bath.
Yep. And Nervous just lives here now. So this is his problem and not Ophelia's. Honestly, it's probably a step up from the Beaker's household. Like,
yeah,
it's hard to get worse than that. And he does have a lot of money. What is he doing? What are you doing? Oh, he's saying bye. Okay. That was cute, actually. They don't know each other. They've actually just met. But both of them are family sims, and they're the only family they have left. And I feel like that, I don't know, that's kind of an interesting dynamic, I guess.
Do you reckon, like, Ophelia only learned about him when Olive died, or?
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know who he was, you know? Like,
Mhm.
he wasn't in her relationship panel. So do we want to call it here, or do we want to get Johnny and Ophelia settled on camera before we end? I could do it off camera. We could do it first thing next time.
I feel like we might as well move them in first.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of money, so I think we're probably moving them into one of the sad apartments.
Yeah.
Let's see. Because, yeah, there's a kind of a big difference between even the cheapest one here and the most expensive one here. So maybe we move them into one of the less sad apartments in this house.
Yeah.
One of the ones that are above ground. I think that's enough space for the two of them.
Ones aren't too bad.
Yeah, the upstairs ones are not too bad.
I feel like it's doable.
I feel like it's realistic that, like, two young adults share a studio apartment.
Yeah.
They don't have jobs yet. I love this place. It sucks so bad. Alright, so we're gonna take one of these two. They're pretty much identical, so it really doesn't matter which one we take. Left or right, Jem, you pick.
Oh. Left.
Okay. Okay. And it's conveniently already Monday, which is good because it's supposed to be Monday. Normally I have to change the day and the season. I'm still gonna have to change the season because it's supposed to be fall, not first summer.
Yes.
That's season 3. There we go. And now everything's back in sync. It's even like around the same time that they left. I forgot to take the bed and the stereo with them.
Could you just like delete them from the old house and
you know
put new ones in?
I mean, this kind of I have to load a little bit. I think I can just sort of like summon one of them to the house, make them selectable, put it in their inventory. That way I don't have to deal with like transferring funds and doing math about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to make them have to pay for it. They already paid for it. So we get...
Oh, interesting. He's still the Spectre family?
Yeah, unless I
the
change
house,
it, it won't, if you're, like, unless you move someone out and it makes their own new household, the household keeps the same name no matter, like, what the names of the people who are in it are. So I'd have to change that manually if I wanted to change it.
It sounds way better than the Subject family.
Yeah, I think I might keep it, because sometimes I end up changing his name and he ends up taking the name Spectre.
Mm.
I don't necessarily know if I'm going to do that or not, but are they the... Oh, yeah, there we go.
I think it would make sense for this place to be pretty famously
The Spectre household. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we just take that, and you know, all this stuff is hers too. So like, take that too. Probably sell some of it, but you guys, you guys need the money. This is. I assume this is hers. She was too old for it when she moved in here. But are the curtains hers? I'm taking the curtains. Maybe I won't take the curtains. Actually, the curtains are actually pretty expensive. I'm gonna leave them here. That feels like cheating. Okay. Plus the room looks weird without them. I'm leaving it. Although, like, they definitely are
really
hers
funny.
because Olive's room doesn't have them.
Huh. It would just be really funny for her to be like, do you mind if I take these?
They're actually not that expensive. Maybe I will take the curtains. I'm gonna take the curtains. I thought they were more expensive than that. Totally thinking about a different game. Because, like, this style of curtain exists in all the games. I think they might be expensive in one of the other games.
Hmm.
Yeah. Alright. Oh, and stereo. Oh, well, stop it. Can't select object and use. Bet. Watch me. Oh, I can't put it in. Okay. No, not you. You. Take this. Alright. And now leave. Alright, and now she should have it when we go back to her household.
She just turned up, like, just real
She's like, hold on, I forgot my stuff.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, cool. So that's us all set up for next time.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta furnish the house. I could just do that off camera, though. Like I did all the other ones.
I don't mind.
I mean, it's up to you. If you want to watch me furnish it, I'll furnish it with you here. But
yeah, sure.
it's much later for you than it is for me, so the decision to extend or not is up to you in my mind.
Yeah, I'm cool.
All right. Well, let's just unpack everything they have. They're not gonna keep all of it because it's just not necessary. But let's see what they have. Oh, they already had a stereo. I didn't even realize that. It was in Johnny's inventory, so I didn't have to even buy that stereo. They already had one.
Oh yeah, I forgot he had all his stuff
This
for me.
is missing the receiver. I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to sell and rebuy that. Yeah, I didn't even think to check his inventory. I forgot he brought a stereo with him. Yeah, we definitely don't need to keep all of this, but I think we should keep some of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now we got 2 stereos, which is not necessary, but whatever. Oh, they've only got the one window though, huh?
Yeah, they definitely do not need 5 curtains.
Would it be weird if we did it like this? Because there is a wide version of this curtain that we could get, but how weird is that? Does that look strange?
I'm still catching up.
Okay.
It actually doesn't look as bad as I would have thought.
We can leave it like that for now, and if it bothers us, then we could
I think we can get away with it.
If it bothers us later, then we can just like
yeah.
Sell them and buy the wide version. Yeah, they do only got that one window, huh? That's a choice I made. I could have put one in the back, but I didn't. I built this lot. I have no one to blame but myself. Although I did base this off of hold on to my notes still, of renovation done by Catherine TCJD on Mod The Sims. So maybe it was like that in that original build that I stole the idea from. I actually don't remember. But I still could have made a different decision regardless.
Yeah.
We probably don't want to keep both of these end tables. They clash a little bit. We definitely don't need this this other bed. That's money. And I don't expect that we're gonna need a baby toy anytime soon, unless we accidentally do. Or maybe, I mean, maybe on purpose, because Ophelia is a family sim, so she might want that.
Like, probably at some point.
At some point she'll want that, probably, yeah. We don't really need the dollhouse right now either. There's just not room for this stuff. And you guys need the money, otherwise I'd say, oh, we just put it in inventory, use it later. We don't need both stereos. We don't need all of these curtains. Yeah, this would be silly. I don't think we should do that. That's the only other bathroom in the house, so. They actually surprisingly had kind of enough furniture to furnish the place.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably other things that they would ideally have, but maybe... Actually, even since they have this phone, maybe we just...
Yeah.
Oh wait, this does have the receiver now. It's back. Okay. We don't need 2 phones then. Like, you know, like a TV and a couch would probably be nice, a computer. But maybe we don't prioritize those things when they don't have jobs.
Yeah.
So we got a few months rent still. Did I not put a sink in here? I definitely meant to put a sink in there. This is on me. I have no one to blame but myself for this. What are you talking about? There was totally a sink in here. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that we would immediately need, right?
Urgently, yeah.
Should we maybe like redesign these a bit? I kind of like this end table. I think it has character. It just doesn't match with this one. We could get a second one. Or we could put this here and put this somewhere else in the house. Like over here. And this little nook right here is actually supposed to be for a closet. But they do have a dresser. But we could also put in a closet though. They aren't that expensive. Just put it right there. I think we're good, because this kind of matches with the desk. Maybe we leave those the same, or maybe we... Yeah, I think maybe we leave it. I think it's fine. You know what might be good, actually, is a light, though? They have this one right here in the kitchen, but there's nothing lighting up, like, their living space.
Yeah.
Living/bedroom space. Oh, maybe we put this.
Yeah, the lack of windows is.
So normally this would be lit up at night, but it just doesn't work that way when you're switching to night in build mode for whatever reason. You could use an IKEA light.
I love that there was like.
There's an IKEA pack, and it's all good, cheap stuff, just like IKEA in real life.
That's like real life.
I think this one's nice.
Oh, that's cute.
It doesn't really match their style, but like they this whole place is kind of mismatched anyway, and I think that's kind of the vibe it has. They've just thrown a bunch of stuff together. They don't really have money to buy nice looking furniture.
And the curtains and the side table especially are just bringing some energies in.
Yeah. I like it. I don't think it looks good. Don't get me wrong. When I say I like it, I'm not saying it looks good. I think it has character.
Yeah.
This is an interesting space. Alright, yeah, so that's the set up. So we can just sort of end here. We won't be playing them until the next round, because we played them for this round in the Spectre house.
Yes.
So next week we'll actually be going back around to the Smith household.
Alright.
Yeah. So that should be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Alright. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thank you, Jem, for being on the stream with me. This is a good time. And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.